Hooters t-shirts. No. I don't even think I own a Hooters. I used to have a bunch of them when I was young, but I don't think I have any of them now. It was good. I like the Hooters hot wings. I know everybody says I go for the hot wings, and everybody's like, "Oh yeah, I bet." I really do like their hot wings. We even make them at home sometimes. It was all right. They were short staffed, so like the wait times were a little bit longer and stuff. But I had fun with my family. Of course, my dad had come, Mariah and the kids. One of my sisters came, and one of my nephews, her son, came, and his boyfriend. So we had fun. Can you tell how many shares, reactions, comments, etc.? I mean, I can see on the the analytics how many people shared something or liked something. It looks like everything is running: YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Rumble.
Think what you think about when you're born into a fire. Let them burn it out. Sell them to the richest buyer. They wanna let the world decay. They tell us lies and fade away, fade away. We feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race.
That sounds like the timer, wasn't it?
Back of the pack, we kill it anyway. Listen up now, because we're never dropping out. Beat the odds, beat the big house.
Let me kill the music here, and we'll get started.
Thinking for ourselves, never let the truth fade away. This is bigger than ourselves, we won't let the world burn away. Burn away, we feel betrayed.
Here we go, guys.
Hey everybody, it's Kim Cuckold here. Listen up. I know I promised my family that I wasn't going to disclose any more of my God dreams. But this very important message came through and I have to tell you guys what's going on. Okay, in my God dreams I was told very clearly that you must subscribe to Cold Beer Confessional. He's on YouTube and Twitch and all of the other ones. I don't know which. There's a lot of them. Subscribe and hit the bell, the notification bell, and hit the likes on it. Now listen, I don't like Cold Beer Confessional. I don't like Will Bird. I think he's an asshole. But you have to, you've got to do what God dictates in the God dreams. I fear the wrath of God, and so does Uncle Tessie. So subscribe
So does Uncle
to
Tessie.
Cold Beer Confessional today. Okay, thanks a lot, guys.
Welcome everybody. I am Will Bird, and this is the Cold Beer Confessional. That was Intel Lady doing another little skit for us. She's done a few, actually. She sent that to me on my birthday. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. Intel Lady, make sure you check her out on YouTube. I need to have her link probably played. I need to edit that video and put thanks to youtube.com/@Intel Lady at the end or something like that. But thank you guys for joining us. Like I said, I'm Will Bird. This is the Cold Beer Confessional. I don't have the most specific title in tonight's video. I went out today and celebrated. My birthday was back on the 15th, and my dad's birthday is the 16th, one day apart. And today we went out and celebrated our birthdays. We went out to Hooters and had some hot wings and some family, and I actually had a beer for the first time, and God knows, it's weird. My show's named The Cold Beer Confessional. I quit drinking like 2 years ago, but I had a beer for the first time, hung out. Mariah, the kids, one of my sisters, my nephew, and his partner. It was we had a good time. So since then, I've been kind of behind. Worth it, but I've been kind of behind. So that's why we're getting started late, and that's why I don't have a super specific topic. I mean, I got stuff to cover, obviously. Phil had a little meltdown today. Derek Johnson has been exposed a little bit. Different things going on, but I just don't have a very specific title. Thank you for coming. Thank you for joining. Thank you for watching, sticking around. I appreciate it. I'm trying to fix my start. My start time should be 7:30 to 8. That's what it used to be, and I did really good all the way up until the December that I had, and then it fell off. But we'll get back to that. That's the plan, 7:30 to 8 start time, and somewhere in there so more people can see it. I know it's late for a lot of people, especially if you're on the East Coast and we run like a long show. Either way, thank you guys for joining us tonight. If you want to support the stream, the best thing that you can do is to like and share. Well, watch the video first, and then like, share. You can even comment in the live chat, comment after the video is posted. Send the video to somebody. Don't even give them a warning. Just send them the link and don't say anything. Just send them the link. They'll get the hint. But that very, very, very much helps the channel. If you like it, share it, engage with the video. The only place you can't like is Twitch. You can like on Rumble. You can like on YouTube. You can like on Facebook. You can like on all of them. You can share anywhere. Like and share the video is a big deal. Thumbs up, boxing glove, plus, whatever it is, hit that button. Hit the dislike. It counts just the same as long as it's engagement. That's what the platform likes to see to push this video to more people, to suggest it to more people. Engage with the video. Like I said, on Rumble right now, you can leave comments in a live chat. Plus, you can go ahead and leave a comment like the video was posted, like an old video. So you're more than welcome to do that, and I would greatly appreciate it. If you want to go above and beyond that, the best thing that you can do, and one of the smartest things you can do if you enjoy the show, is to go to coldbeer.fund. Coldbeer.fund, that's the website that's behind my head right now. And what I want you to do, don't even worry about donating right now. What I want you to do is at the very top where it says support the Cold Beer Confessional, just below that are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 squares. Okay? Follow me on another platform. It's not when I'll get banned. It's not if I'll get banned. It's when I'll get banned. I will be banned from these platforms for the topics I cover, even though I fully comply with TOS. It's done by a robot and somebody in India who doesn't understand satire or jokes. So if you go to the website just below, support the Cold Beer Confessional, there's my Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Telegram, Facebook, TikTok, Rumble, and Discord. If you click on any of these, like my Instagram, last night during the Patreon show, we had Austin help us make a picture, and we all went over there and tagged David Nino Rodriguez in it to see if we could get him to respond. That is David Nino Rodriguez and Juanito 07, and it says, "Tell me the intel, Poppy." So follow me on multiple platforms. Even if it's like Instagram, where I don't even live stream to. If I lose a channel, I will go there and post and say, "Hey, I lost this. You should go here." Also, a good website to remember, this website here is coldbeer.fund. It's basically got all my links. But if you go to coldbeer.live, this big red button here, If you go to this coldbeer.live, I keep this updated. You can just you can either click that big red button or just type in coldbeer.live, coldbeer.live, and it'll bring you to whatever my primary platform is. There you go. It'll bring you to Twitch. It'll bring you to Rumble. It'll bring you to wherever my primary platform is. You just hit coldbeer.live, and that's all you have to do. I always update that. That used to go to my YouTube. Before that, it went to a different YouTube. Before that, it went to Facebook. Whatever my primary platform is, that's where it goes to, so you don't have to worry, like, where does Will want me to watch, or where did Will go? Coldbeer.live. If you want to support the show financially, you're more than welcome to do that. We're actually pushing a new donation link right now. So if you go to coldbeer.fund, or if you're watching on Twitch, it's in the panels down below. It says shit post on stream with dono clip. That is our new donation link. If you want to try that out, you're more than welcome. If you click on that and go to it, it'll say this: audio or video. You click one of these, and for the $5 donation, just like Buy Me a Coffee, you can record an audio clip or a video clip and send it to us. Then, if it's approved, it can't violate TOS. Like, you can't send me a picture of your ass or something, or a video. But if it's TOS approved, we'll play it on the stream. Either way, I'm going to end up watching it. But if it's TOS approved, we'll play it on the stream. Audio or video clip. Tell me a joke. Make me laugh. That would be awesome. You can also use our regular links, like we have Buy Me a Coffee. You can click here on the yellow. You can click on this purple coffee cup right here behind me. And it brings up this window where you leave your name and a message that I'll read. You can join our Patreon for extra content. The skull is an extra backup link, and we have the merch shop as always. Stickers, t-shirts, coffee mugs, pillows, racer backs, and long sleeve tees. I don't make a whole lot of money off that, but it's still pretty cool having people wearing my merch around. I don't know. It's still, I can't believe people would watch my show, much less wear my merch around in public. But people send me pictures all the time, and I've actually ran into 2 people wearing my merch and walked up to them and introduced myself. So thank you, guys. I appreciate it. I promise I'll stop shilling in a minute, but this is how we keep the show free 7 days a week. We do have paid shows through Patreon, but that's in addition to 7 days a week, free shows, probably more often than anybody else on the internet. I've taken very few sick days, and even some of those sick days we still streamed, or I still came on. I can't stay away from it. This is my therapy. I enjoy it. I like hanging out with you guys. So if you want to keep the show running free 7 days a week, that's how you do it. It does have expenses. It does have bills. It does take up a lot of my time. So we use the donations to support the office and the stream and the light bill and the internet and all that stuff. Either way, thank you guys for joining us, whether you donate or not. Hang out in the chat, introduce yourself, and we'll go ahead and get started. There's my dad right there on Facebook chat. Now, he won't be able to see you unless you're on Facebook because the chat messages don't relay, but he said, thanks for all the birthday wishes. Thank you. I showed him the video on the day of his birthday where we all wished him a happy birthday. I enjoyed the 12-hour shows. We used to have some. Me and Mariah did it was for a donation goal for like a charity or something. We tried to do a 24-hour stream. We did like 18 hours or something. It was ridiculous. Either way, let me grab this and then let's see what happens. Let me grab this one first. Even though that's the second one. And I'll save that to downloads. And then let me grab this one. So Phil's been a little pissy today. Phil has been a little upset, a little out of it. A lot of people calling him out. Phil is, I don't know what's going on. Thanks for coming by, Dad. Dad usually watches the show the next day, so he's not in the live chat. I'm the only one that sees his messages, or he just tells me. But you're more than welcome to shout him out. His name's Dennis Bird, same last name, different first name, believe it or not. Either way, so Phil has been doing some weird stuff, I think. First of all, the employee retention, he's selling dog food. Can we just say, what the fuck is that? Like, why is he selling dog? Of all the things to grift, he's now selling dog food? It's kind of weird. Second of all, the employee retention credit is a thing that has existed since the CARES Act went through. Since the CARES Act went through. Since 2020. You could file it in 2021. When you filed your taxes, you could do this employee retention credit. But somehow now he's trying to capitalize on it, even though you can do it this year or up till next year. You can do it all the way through 2024, by the way, in case you're wondering. But it seems like most businesses would have known about it. And when I file with TurboTax, it pops up and says, oh, you're saying you own a business. How many employees do you have? You may qualify for the employee retention credit. But I've gotten 3 people so far to give me the exact same story about using the Max Refund website. Basically, they said they walked through the steps of using the Max Refund website through Phil. 2 of them, it was them personally that did it. A third one said she recommended it to her friend and forwarded the messages that her and her friend had. And it was about they went through the steps, they checked the boxes, they tried to sign up, and then it talked about legal representation as if they were being represented by a lawyer and trying to charge them $500. Legal representation and try to charge them $500. So there you go. I guess Phil's making a percentage off of that. I have no idea. With as sloppily as he's handled people's credit cards and payments and his website, which is still down. We're going on to the 4th month now. His website's still down. He wants to claim that it's been a month. He's really good at rewriting history. I went back and watched one of his videos about the girl. And he always claimed that she was 6. He's like, they said 13. She was never 13. She was 16 or 17. Well, 14 and 15. Now, I don't even think that cops could prove that anything happened through their evidence that anything happened when she was 14, but it seemed like their case was built around when she was 15. It sounds a lot different when you say 16 or 17 and then tell people that you were like 20 or 21. That's a big difference than what actually happened, Phil. So he's really good at rewriting history, especially like with when he makes a mistake. He does a good job of that. I've got some of his old clips. They're wild just to go back and watch. Like if half of his audience went back and watched how his lies have changed, how his stories have changed, how he turns everything on and turns everything off, the fake tears, the fake emotions, surely they would leave. If maybe I'm wrong, but I would like to think they would leave. Either way, so he did those 2 things. He's also opening up a new chat channel because the other chat channel accidentally banned too many people, and he doesn't want to unban people. And he could easily just put moderators on that, right? Like he could easily just put moderators on that to unban people, but he says it would take too long. So now he's trying to move everybody to a new chat. Not only is he trying to move everybody to a new chat, but he is very, very, very stern about persuading people to leave the old chat, including making little voice reminders, making little like guides, little picture guides of how to leave the old chat. Wonder why he wants people to leave that old chat so bad. Once you leave, you can't get back in. I know for a fact that once your channel has like over 1,000 people in it or something like that, you can't delete the channel. You cannot. You can mess with the posts and that shit, but you cannot get rid of the channel. So it seems very weird that he's still concerned with so many people. You should not be on this old. This is my new channel. You should not be on the old one. Here's how you leave. Click here and here. If you're still on the old channel, you need to leave. You need to leave. It's very strange. I don't know what his premise is, but I think I'm working around a couple of ideas maybe. So then he decided to share a few videos today. What is this one? Oh, okay. So this is his Intel proofs, I guess. I know you couldn't hear it, but it's good. It's his coded message while he's driving around. We'll go ahead and play that. It says, this video was recorded approximately 6 months ago. How many coincidences do you need before it's mathematically impossible? How many coincidences do you need before it's mathematically impossible? Go ahead. Keep doubting my intel. Let's see how this all turns out in the end and whose intel was accurate all along. I know who I'm betting on. He's very cocky to be a guy that's only ever been right about the queen dying at some point. I'll go ahead and make some predictions. Joe Biden will die at some point. Donald Trump will die at some point. Everybody will die at some point. Now just come back when I'm right. Now just come back when I'm right. It'll be perfect. Idiot. So he's claiming that he rightfully predicted some stuff in this video. Let's check it out.
Melbourne, Pine Tree Lane on the
Sticker Melbourne Pine Tree Lane. You know it's going to be a good video when you have Sticker Melbourne Pine Tree Lane. That's the way all great videos start.
Pine Tree Lane on the efflorescence of the cement without twice thinking of.
Yeah, technically, yes, it is the only way he can remove the fake label. But obviously, he's not too worried about it because his announcement channel still says fake. And he's not changing announcement channels. I just don't think that's it. I think maybe if I had to just spitball some ideas, I think maybe he's trying to get rid of some old content that's in there and old messages. He doesn't want to go through and delete them all. Maybe he is concerned about the ads and the claims and stuff he posted in the past. That could be it. Maybe he plans on selling that channel. It seems like that's already happened once. I don't think it's the fake label. Maybe he's worried about a track record of viewer bots because you can't just. Look, you can't gain like 100 new followers a day, and then in one 1 hour period, you have 30,000 followers join, and then you go back to gaining 100 followers a day. Obviously, that's not true. That's not happening. Maybe he's concerned about that. Obligatory. Not a fucking word. The genius. By the way, his fans or him under fake accounts ones are cheering him on. I think it's easy to forget how smart Phil is. He's making these codes up on the spot. I can tell when he says obligatory. Got it.
Red. Within precisely the tree unit down the road, inside of Red Velvet, Purgatory.
Oh my God, Purgatory too.
Without reciting a single fern grove, which is.
That's my favorite. Which is when he repeats it as if you were supposed to pay attention to it.
Abundance via chemicals.
So he's claiming here that he says chemicals, so that has to do with the train derailment. Well, fuck, Phil. I've said chemicals on my show. I've probably said chemicals more than you said. I know Scott McKay said chemicals more. I know Scott McKay has said chemicals more than you have, for sure. Because he talks about like signing up for the Patriot or the Tomahawk Switch or whatever it is, and talks about chemicals. That doesn't mean you're predicting anything just because you said the word chemicals. Are you kidding me? If you would have named polyvinyl chloride, yeah, okay, we got some chemicals. Is this it sounds like Trump describing a cognitive test when he's like, yo, so they ask you pick on the picture of the giraffe, and three of them's elephants and one of them's a giraffe, and you pick the giraffe. chemicals. Phil has wild weight fluctuations. It's strange.
Abundance via chemicals. Abundance via chemicals. Abundance via chemicals. Via chemicals. Via chemicals. Now.
All right, so chemicals was his prediction that a train would derail, and him dancing to a dumbass song. Okay, listen. Phil didn't predict shit, okay? Do you know that in the U.S., train derailments are extremely common? The only reason we don't hear about them is because they typically don't happen at such a like big, high-profile chemical ones at the chemical releases at the same time. But there's like when I got licensed to be a conductor, you have to be licensed to drive or operate or work on a train. So the engineer and the conductor have to be licensed through a board called the FRA, which is the Federal Railroad Administration. There's a train derailment in the U.S. on average every hour and a half. Like, someone's like, oh my God, can you believe there's 3 train derailment? Yeah, because it was ones they paid attention to. There's a train derailment or crash in the U.S. or collision, train derailment or collision every hour and a half on the U.S. They happen all the time. All the time. It's not that big a deal. Actually, well, I mean, it couldn't be a big deal, but it's not that out of the ordinary, I guess I should say, to have a train derailment. Trains carrying from the FRA themselves, their own reporting. They investigate all these. It's like the FAA for like airlines, right? They have trains carrying hazardous chemicals derail on average of 1 every 2 weeks. So just because he danced, they're like, oh my God, we've never had 3 trains derail. And then he said locomotion in a song. He knew it was going to happen. He really? Because are you sure he wasn't predicting the other, 300,000 we've had since then? It's weird. Yeah, I think a lot of those are body counts, Granny Truther. So there is a train collision or derailment every hour and a half. Trains carrying hazardous materials derail about 1 every 2 weeks. The FRA reports that 80% of railroad crossings do not provide adequate warnings. Most train accidents are caused by human factors, track causes, and equipment. I've actually been on a train that derailed, that came off the rail. It was basically, we were traveling up to the northern section of the territory we ran. I was still in training. I was an extra conductor. We had another conductor and engineer. I was finishing up my training. I was actually finished with training, but I couldn't get back home. Anyways, it was pouring the rain. Pikeville, Kentucky was flooding like hell. They had a couple rock slides. We come around a bend, and there was a car about the size of a school, or a rock about the size of a school bus, or, well, not that big. A rock about the size of an SUV setting on halfway across the tracks had fallen off the side of the mountain, and we hit it, and it just kind of pushed us over off the rails. They come and got us out of there. It took them like, man, I think we sat on that train like 9 hours or some shit. They come and got us out of there, brought in crews, got the engine back up, got a crane up there, got the engine back up. I think it derailed like the first 3 cars with us. Put those back on, cleaned up, they had to blow the rock in place. They didn't have anything big enough to anywhere to put it or anything big enough to just like tote it along. So if it wasn't within the swing radius of the big ass crane they brought out there wasn't nothing they could do with us. They blew it in place, and brought the train. I wasn't there for all that, but they told us what they did. Train derailments just happened. He didn't predict a train derailment. He didn't predict shit.
On the other flip, within the river.
Within the river.
On the other flip, within the river. The other flip, within the river. The other flip, within the river.
Flip within the river. Oh my God.
Within the river.
That's wild.
The good dog.
But what's crazy, Phil, though,
Sticker.
is that it didn't occur in a river. It was in a creek, bro. It was in a creek. And you may think I'm being nitpicky, but a creek and a river is a big deal. Why didn't he say within the other flip in a creek with polyvinyl chloride? Wouldn't that have made more sense? Wouldn't that have made a lot more sense?
The river. Within the river. Within the river. The good dog sits.
The good dog sits. The good dog sits. How about you sit on this and rotate, Phil? The good dog sits. The good dog sits. It lets me call it a good dog. Oh, so then he says, he shares a post from someone named Cajun Meemaw. You know it's going to be a good comment when you hear from Cajun Meemaw. I'm Jervis, the devil's grandson, so I know all about that Cajun voodoo down there. She says, abundance via chemicals remembers Phil's pitch on water filters. Yeah, he said there was snake venom in the water plants, and if you didn't buy his water filter, you're going to die from it. Then when the water filter company backed out and it was no longer profitable for him, he's just like, oh, I'm sorry. You guys do what you got to do. What are you talking about? Remember Phil's pitch on water filters? Yes, I do. He told you without his water filter, one of the only ones on the market that was approved for snake venom proteins, that without his water filter, you would likely die. Then, when the water filter company said, we're not working with the Q-tard, we're out. We never said anything about snakes. We never said anything about snake venom. We never said anything about this rumor. Then he said he was going to find you another company, but because it wasn't profitable for him, he said, deuces, good luck dying. So, yeah, we do remember that. That had nothing to do with trains. That had nothing to do with the creek. Nothing to do with any of it. Thanks, Cajun Meemaw. Then she says, when we buck Phil's comms, he lets us choose free will, knowing the day will come when he will want to tell us, I tried to warn you, but he won't do that. What is he, fucking, are you comparing him to God? Oh, but he allows us our free will, my children, and you can choose and do as the shepherd leads you to choose and do. But one day there will come a judgment. Every head in the audience bowed, every chat in the live chat silenced. We're going to have a moment here to just raise your hand if you've turned your if you'd like to turn your whole life and entire savings account over to the Phil Godlewski. Queezus, some may say. Q Jesus. Anyways, Phil won't do that. Yes, he will. He literally already has. When people say we've got clips of him saying, if you don't have food and water, and you're broke and inflation, well, shame on you. Shame on you. Starve. We watched the clips last night. He shares a forward from Ultra Pepe Lives Matter. And then it says Pepe Lives Matter. It says the fact we are witnessing a cascade of false flags, psyops, and violent events tells me not that we are losing, but rather that the war continues to rage on. Isn't it nice when you can make everything that happens in your life a psyop or a false flag or a fake violent event? Or if you could make all that, then all of that's clues, right? If everything that happened to me in my life that was negative or I didn't want to happen, I just said false flag, I guess I'd feel pretty good about it. Doesn't make it right. It doesn't make my life actually any better, but I guess I can just keep screaming false flag. This tells me the white hats press onward and victory is not out of reach. If they were not over the target, there would be no need to expend this kind of ammunition. Take heart, Anons, and keep your peace and wits about you. There is no going back. The only way is forward, especially when I'm auto-charging your credit card for some type of subscription service. Of course, I don't want... When you're paying me between $9.99 and $29.99 a month, there is no way back. You have to stay in. It's still winnable. I don't know who the fuck. Like, I've studied military tactics. I've studied military leaders. I've studied ancient military tactics, the art of war. I've studied all that stuff. And I don't know, even if this war was real, I don't know a single motherfucker who is considered a great leader within this that would be like, oh, yeah, it's still going very good. Yes. Oh, something was supposed to happen 2.5 years ago and nothing has happened at all, but we just have random douchebags saying it's all happening and it's secret. Yeah, we're still in it. Yeah, it can still be happening. Yeah, I think it's going good. But sure, don't give up hope. There's no way back, okay? I've already charged you for this month's feelgoodlewski.live. You can't go back. It's only been down for a few minutes, and it'll be up within 30 seconds. Don't ask me again about it for a month, or you'll be banned. That's the laws and orders, folks. Laws and orders. He shares a forward from some bitch I know, and it says immunity acquired from COVID infection is as protective as vaccine, blah, blah. It's a news story from archive.is. Sounds like a reputable source. He then shows a meme of conspiracy theorists, 2020 and 2023. It's supposed to be like they've ascended or some shit, I guess. He shares a forward from Brandy R, and it says, "Come meet Richard Citizen Journalist." So Richard Citizen Journalist is a big fat shitbag grifter. I don't know how to describe him. Like, he's like a useless lump of human meat. Like, I don't know what to say about him. Either way, you can come meet him at a meet and greet on the 18th. I guess I missed it. Darn, I would have been there. And it says, "Hey, Patriots, Richard will be in Russellville, Arkansas area for a meet and greet on Saturday, February 18th, 2023, at the Russellville Country Club. This is a free event. Come and meet Richard. Please RSVP to rpotsener at gmail.com. Then Phil shares, "Come meet RCJ in person, no charge." Weird that he would even post that. That's weird, isn't it? It's very strange that he would even post that. I don't know. Seems strange to me. Seems like maybe he owed a favor, or maybe this is another thing that he was funded for. Remember when he didn't charge for ads until he did, and then he apologized, but he told you for a year that he had never charged for an ad, that he did it for underprivileged QAnon kids? Absolutely, he's at 7K. Thank you very much. That was Austin Milbarge with 1,000 bits. I appreciate it. Don't forget about our new Dono clip. I think that'll be fun once it starts getting used. Come meet RCJ in person, no charge. He forwards a message from Connie Millam, and it says, "Been in a cruise ship since Monday. The earth is flat. Asked the captain. He smiled. He wouldn't say yes or no." Obviously, this bitch has never heard of a sympathy smile, okay? Like, a captain of a cruise ship is not the same as, like, going out as a captain and you work like a fishing vessel or a transport vessel or a mariner marine, a merchant marine. Like, the captain, you know, sometimes you get invited to sit at the captain's table. My mom was invited one time to sit at the captain's table on a cruise. Sometimes you get invited to sit at they're supposed to be cordial. They're supposed to be nice, okay? So when you say something fucking psycho, like, "The earth is flat, isn't it, Captain?" And they just smile and nod, they're trying their best not to choke your eyeballs out to where then they can pick one up and use it as an example of a sphere. That's what they're trying to do. They're holding back rage behind clenched teeth. He just smiled. Wouldn't say yes or no. Yeah, he's trying not to lose his job or get a complaint or possibly pick up a manslaughter charge. Idiots. Nothing works. None of these GPS, okay? GPS that used to be a basically a military only asset is now anybody can have access to it. If you tap into the right system, pay the right fees, and you've got an app or a phone app, or let's say you have some type of tracker or locator or this or that uses GPS, anybody can use the civilian size of the GPS now. It doesn't work on a flat earth. You can prove the earth is round with 2 fucking yardsticks and a sunny day. You have to walk a few miles, but you can prove the earth is round or be in 2 different places, you and your friend. Like, it's not that hard. This is getting old. Very old. Tried to say our city was abandoned and deserted. He's a moron. It was a building that was in foreclosure because of dispute, by the way. Seller and buyer. That's why the doors were locked. Idiot. Sounds about right, real Firefly. I hate RCJ. He came through my town and posted a video and lied. Drove downtown that same day and proved his ass wrong. And was lying. Yeah, it sounds exactly right. These guys are idiots. Idiots. He then shares a post from somebody named Kyle Heath, and it is tiny little globes and wall art pieces that say, the 3D flat earth model is in 15-inch diameter, hand-finished, stained, and hand-painted, gloss-coated. Colors can be customized, comes with a dome. Price is $150 each. Of course, this link is what's the name of his website? Phil is on a minor. Phil is on a minor or something like that. I can't remember the name exactly. He shares one of the people there is a flat earth map maker. KV Woodworks. Has many custom woodcrafts for sale. Flags, door hangers, signs, concealment, bird feeders and houses, plaques, pictures, and many more. We have laser engraving. I like working with wood. We have laser engraving CNC. That would be cool. I'd like to have a CNC. My wife and I love working together on our hobby of wood crafting. We love talking to the people that purchase our goods. We tell customers that their imagination is our limit on creating works of art from wood. Visit our Telegram. I like working with wood and metal. The last house we lived in, I built our kitchen table. It was like a farm style table. I've built furniture, everything from like silly little like wall clocks and bird houses, all the way up to like furniture, indoor furniture grade stuff. I had my dad's uncle was a very, very, very fine master carpenter. He did in very, very, very expensive homes. He did all the custom cabinetry and carpentry that were inside of them. Some amazing stuff he did. But I can make stuff. I don't know if I'd be making flat earth maps. That seems kind of silly. There it is. There it is. See how none of the none of the fucking continents are the right shape. So none of the fucking continents are the right shape. How they're all squished and shit. That's because this is a top-down projection of a map, as if its sides were rolled out. Idiots. Idiots. They're dumb. I don't know what else to say. They're dumb. Like, it used to be to the point where I thought, man, these people got swindled. Now I think that they're dumb and they're holding the rest of us hostage with their stupidity while they scream, laws and orders. It's crazy. Oh, Betsmo. I haven't got the package yet. It might be Monday. I went down there and there wasn't a key in my locker, so it means it probably didn't fit in my box, whatever the package was, or they didn't get it in my box in time, so it might be Monday before I can get it, but I did see the thing. And who else? I was looking for somebody else. Oh, is Sandy in here? Did anybody see Sandy? Either way. So he's selling those. You can buy those on Phil is on a Minor. That's the name of his website, something like that. Oh, Phil is on a Minor. Then he shares something from Jacqueline. It says afternoon from, and it shows the British flag. And it says, sharing my happy FedEx delivery day. Bundled shipment option meant 3 more arrived today to add to the growing collection. At Phil Godlewski, years ago was the best day ever. Finding Phil Godlewski years ago was her best day ever. She must have a sad, sad, sad life. Imagine finding a random guy on the internet. I don't even want you saying this about me. You don't know me. Like, we're not best friends. I didn't change your life in some fundamental way. Imagine saying some random guy on the internet telling you that Trump's still president and you're like, best day of my life. Here we go. Wow. Have you never been married or had a child, or hell, even I'd settle for your first blowjob. He then shares a post. He then shares a heart with that post. And then the thing about the employee retention credit. And it says, business owners with W-2 employees, don't leave this free money opportunity on the table. For each employee you had employed during the pandemic, you can now qualify for $26,000 payment from the IRS. Let's help bankrupt them once and for all. So he's sharing this. He did this in the video, right? He did this in his video segment where he talked about this, where it was the best piece of intel he's ever had ever. He did this in the video where he said, if you don't do this, you're just giving the cabal your money. Wait a second. Do you guys remember the rapid fire where he said the IRS doesn't exist? The IRS is done. He's not paid taxes. The IRS doesn't exist. Who are you paying taxes to? Who's giving you a credit? How is this functioning? How is the IRS giving an employee retention credit when they don't exist? They've been shut down. Washington's empty. It's a ghost town. He can't keep his lie straight. And if it comes between keeping his lie congruent or making money, I guess we're going to pick money, huh? He forwards something from Michael and Dell, and it says, I wonder if Dominion can sue themselves now that the truth is out. And this is from the Gateway Pundit. I've lost almost all faith in the Gateway Pundit, so I want to preface this with saying I do not believe this. I do not support this. The Gateway Pundit has went to just printing pure propaganda. They've been busted in multiple lies. They're clearly one-sided. They clearly care about one narrative, and they will publish lies. So we're going to open this article, but I don't support this, and I already probably don't believe it. The Gateway Pundit has lost all credibility in my eyes. I can't believe how far they've fallen. How far they've fallen since, like, I started reading the Gateway Pundit back in the day. Fox filing shows Dominion Voting Systems executives, including Eric Coomer, knew its voting system had major security issues, was hacked, and was riddled with bugs. Dominion Voting Systems is in big trouble. After the filing by Fox News in its case of Dominion yesterday, Fox uncovered through its discovery in this case that Dominion's own employees expressed serious issues and concerns about the security of its machines. Dominion Voting Systems sued Fox News for $1.6 billion in a defamation lawsuit in March of 2021. The AP reported on the suit in a very nasty and biased report. Dominion Voting Systems filed a $1.6 billion defamation lawsuit against Fox News on Friday, arguing the cable news giant falsely claimed in an effort to boost faltering ratings that the voting company had rigged the 2020 contest. The lawsuit is part of a growing body of legal actions filed by a voting company arguing voting company and other targets of misleading, false, and bizarre claims spread by DJT and his allies in the aftermath of the contest loss to Joe Biden. The claims helped spur on rioters who stormed the Capitol on Jan 6 in a violent siege that left 5 people dead, including a police officer. The siege led to Trump's historic second impeachment. The AP includes numerous falsities and biases in its report, so much so that it looked like it was written by Dominion. Since the 2020 election, There has been a concerted effort by mainstream media to protect the results of the election and label anyone or any entity who challenged the uncertifiable as a denier. On Thursday, Fox News filed a brief in this case with Dominion voting system. Fox News uncovered some material issues with Dominion and its voting system. These items were so serious that Dominion employees expressed concerns. I want to see the filing. Discovery in this case is revealed that Dominion's own employees expressed serious concerns. Mark Beckstrand, a Dominion sales manager, confirmed with other parties, have gotten a hold of Dominion's equipment illicitly in the past. Sure. Beckstrand identified specific instances in Georgia and North Carolina and testified that a Dominion machine was hacked. Just because he testifies, it doesn't make it true. He confirmed that these security failures were reported about in the news. And just weeks before the 2020 contest, Dominion's director of projects, strategy, and security, Eric Coomer, acknowledged in a private chat that our shit is just riddled with bugs. Indeed, Coomer had been castigating Dominion's failures for years. In 2019, Coomer noted that our products suck. He lamented almost all of Dominion's technology failings were due to complete F-up installation. In another instance, he identified a critical bug leading to incorrect results. Example H4, Coomer email Jan 5th, 2018. He went on to note it does not get much worse than that. And while many companies might have resolved their errors, Coomer later lamented that we don't address our weaknesses effectively. It doesn't say we don't address our weaknesses or we don't fix it. It says we don't address them effectively. That could be not in a timely manner, not as quickly as possible, not in the easiest way, not using the most limited number of assets. Discovery in this case has revealed that Dominion's own employees expressed concern. This is just a claim, right? Other parties have gotten a hold of Dominion's equipment illicitly. Yes, people have stolen equipment. They can't. What the fuck are they supposed to do about stealing equipment? What the fuck are they supposed to do about people stealing equipment? Execute them? Hunt them down? I don't know what you want them to do. Either way. Oh, I didn't see it. I could see why many people don't watch you. Well, you're here, right? Tashia. Fucking retards. It says, example E3, Beckstrand Department, TR. Beckstrand identified specific instances in Georgia and North Carolina and testified that a Dominion machine was hacked in Michigan. Beckstrand confirmed that the security failures were reported about in the news, and just weeks before, blah, blah, that's what we just read. Acknowledged in a private chat, our shit is just riddled with bugs. Coomer has been castigating Dominion's fault for years. Our products suck. Almost all of Dominion's technology failings were due to complete F-up in installation, and another instance identified a critical bug, blah, blah. Other internal documents noted that a glitch identified by a security expert in Antrim County should be detected in the software. Coomer shared that the expert isn't entirely wrong. In addition, after the 2020 election, Dominion received complaints from Georgia. Machine required employees to reprogram the machines. Internal Dominion documents likewise confirm that Dominion machines suffered several potential glitches. I don't know what that is. After a security expert told the media that Dominion software should be designed to detect and prevent this kind of glitch, sure, experienced in Antrim County, Michigan during the 2020 presidential election. So that was when they were incorrectly put in by the lady that was working there or whatever, and they fixed it, but it was incorrectly entered in for a short period of time, and they ended up fixing it. Coomer told Dominion Vice President K.E. Stimson he's not entirely wrong. Sure, there could be something that detects whether they put the data in wrong, I guess. Likewise, in the immediate aftermath of the election, Dominion received complaints from Georgia noting irregularities that required Dominion's employees to reprogram the machines. Seems like that was if they have to reprogram the machines, what are they supposed to do? The 2020, I feel like you were grasping at straws here. 2020 presidential election and President Trump's allegations. As of November 3rd, 2020 election approached, several states altered their procedures in light of Cove, talk of potential interference, and reached a fever pitch, with President Trump indicating that he would challenge the results if he suspected anything wrong. After Fox News called Arizona on election night and the media called the presidency for Joe Biden on November 7th, President Trump claimed that it was far from over and announced plans to bring litigation. Example A2, Sunday Morning Futures, TR2, November 8th, 2020. I don't think these are gigantic allegations. I mean, someone being critical of their product and saying, hey, this, especially if they're like angry about something and saying, hey, this is riddled with errors and this is that, that doesn't mean it's insecure, right? It could be fucking, it could be user interface. It could be back-end interface that's riddled with errors. It could be tons of things that's riddled with errors, especially if he's mad because he asked somebody to fix it and they didn't. But I guess you can believe whatever you want. This is not concrete evidence. This is not. Are they going to sue themselves now that they're wrong or whatever fucking Mike Lindell said? It's not that big of a deal, especially from the Gateway Pundit. If this was a bigger deal, you think we'd see it everywhere. Sorry, I was also Googling something. So he shares this post and says, he shares it. It says, Mike Lindell says, I wonder if Dominion can sue themselves now that the truth is out. This is not what you claimed. This is not what they claimed. So I wouldn't call that the truth out. He shares another creepy picture of himself that makes himself look hair-lipped. I don't know what he's doing here, but it seems like he needs to have that corrected. I'll grab the photo for you. I've already downloaded this shit. So there's his fucked up lip. I don't know what that is. That's supposed to be sexy Phil. That's supposed to be sexy Phil. I should have put a lady put on your panty suspenders because they're going to be dropping. Warning, but I forgot. Yeah, in Antrim County, the lady kind of found herself at the center of a conspiracy that she didn't even want to be part of. The place, there's like 20 or 23,000, 25,000, 28,000, less than 30,000 people that even live there. And there was the lady's name is, what is the lady's name? I can't remember. She was the county clerk, and she made a mistake and fixed the mistake, and then it became a pivotal center point for the rest of everybody. Everybody else said, oh, look here, it happened, so here's where it happened, and this is why it all happened, this is why everything went bad. Okay. She never claimed half the things that are being said. She didn't want to be at the center of this, I don't believe. I don't believe. Let's see what, by her own account, it says she left the office about 5 a.m. and headed home. Okay, it says they finished just before 5 a.m. in total exhaustion. Guys spent an hour and a half period. This is the lady's account. Hour and a half period at the columns and rows. By the end, was too tired to step back, figuratively, and consider a broader view of the election. She knew a Republican had won re-election as county clerk because she ran unopposed, but she felt too weary to even know how many votes she got. She registered vaguely that Joe Biden had won the presidential vote. She locked up the office at 5 a.m. and headed home briefly to shower. No time for sleep. She said a brief good morning to Alan, a machinist, then gave him a goodbye peck on the cheek. And drove back to her office. Along the way, she stopped at McDonald's to buy breakfast for the girls who wanted sausage and egg McMuffins. Between placing her order and arriving at the pickup window, she received an email from early rising citizen who had seen the reports of the presidential vote in Antrim. The short message was ominous. Things don't look right. The results she had posted unofficially showed Joe Biden beating Donald Trump by 3,200 votes, which would be nearly impossible in a county as reliably Republican as Antrim. That kind of sudden shift in the long-standing voting pattern signaled a problem, and the realization awoke Guy like a shock of cold water. She said, "Oh, crow, She wanted to race to the office but could only sit trapped in the drive-thru. Finally, after picking up her food, she gunned her car towards the county building. She quickly put out a statement on Antrim's official Facebook page. By this afternoon, we expect to have a clear answer and a clear plan of action addressing any issues, she said. Until then, we are asking all interested parties to bear with us as we get to the bottom of this. That sounded confident enough, but inwardly she felt baffled. What could have happened? She suspected a culprit. The computers, they probably weren't talking right to each other. So all day, she and her staff totaled up votes directly from official tape and printed each precinct and entered that by hand in the central computer. They then republished the results, which now showed Trump as the victor. But a new problem arose now. The total showed more than 18,000 votes, which was 2,000 too many. Cheryl Guy took down the published numbers and tried to regroup. But by now, the world had noticed something was off kilter in Antrim County. On November 6th, New York Post published a story that began, President Trump supporters are pointing to a small Michigan county as evidence that the vote counting software used in the state may undercut Trump. That day, the days that followed were a blur of meetings and calls with county attorneys, software programmers, and through the haze, a thought gradually dawned in Guy's mind. I did this. It's my fault. When she added the last-minute candidate for the village trustee to the ballots, she should have updated the counting machines with the new parameters, but she had not. So when the numbers started rolling in, they dropped into the wrong columns. A little over 2,000 Trump votes have been shifted into the bottoms column. Her error. Then, when she had tried to fix the issue, entering the correct numbers directly into the central computer, she hadn't zeroed out the mistaken 2,000 ballots, so she had published a stack of both wrong and right totals. It's a horrible mistake, she told the county's attorney. I own it. She said the same people who called her to the office to complain, to her neighbors, to the county commissioners. At last, the night of November 6th, the team of people who were working on the problem had stripped away all the compounding mistakes. They rescanned all ballots and published a correct tally of votes, a win for Trump by 3,800. The county board of canvassers examined the results and certified them. The system worked as intended. The mistake had been noticed immediately. The next morning, it had been investigated and corrected. It seemed that night like the end of a terrible episode in Guy's public life. That was her greatest miscalculation. The plot about to unfold out of the way Antrim County, I always want to say Antrim County would render her a pariah in the community she's called home since birth and tear at her social fabric of Antrim itself. It would threaten to overthrow the election of the President of the United States, and it would turn on a single ballot in Antrim, a vote for the local marijuana shop. The call came December 4th, a Friday evening. The weekend had started, but Cheryl Guy answered her phone anyways. On the other end of the line, she found 60-year-old Bill Bailey, an Antrim County real estate agent and fellow Republicans. We've got an order from the judge, Cheryl, he told her. We need to access your machines. What? She knew Bailey had sued the county after Election Day, but never expected anything to come of it. Not sure enough, he had a decision from a circuit court judge, Kelvin Elsenheimer, that Bailey faced irreparable harm as a voter. Specifically, in the recent election, the Village of Central Lake included a proposed initiated ordinance to authorize one marijuana retailer establishment within the village. The judge wrote, using the spelling for marijuana because it was spelled with an H instead of a J, using this spelling for marijuana was common in Michigan officialdom. On Election Day, residents of small Central Lake Village had voted for both President of the United States and whether to let a pot shop open downtown across from the post office. The marijuana vote was tied at 262 to 262, which meant it didn't pass. After the election, during the rescan of Antrim's county's ballots, the Dominion machines wouldn't accept 3 ballots, like a vending machine rejecting a crinkled dollar bill. So 2 election workers, 1 Republican and 1 Democrat, transferred all the marks on 2 of them to fresh ballots. They scanned fine, but the 3rd unscannable ballot was peculiar. It didn't show any mark for or against the marijuana shop, and the reason a lot of this got brought up was the marijuana shop, but that's a different story, and shouldn't have been counted in the first place. It was the statistical oddball inevitable in any election, so the 2 workers didn't count it as a vote for or against the pot store. The new total was 262 to 261, which means that the pot store proposal would pass. The judge wrote, plaintiff argues that failure to include the damaged ballots in the retabulation resulted in the marijuana proposal passing and violated the constitutional rights to have its vote counted. The temporary, let alone total, loss of constitutional right constitutes irreparable harm, which can be adequately remedied by an action at law. So Bailey and his lawyer and the judge ordered could access the photograph, the county's central computer, Dominion machines, thumb drives, memory cards, and they needed access right away, Bailey said. A team was coming in. Get this, by private jet. Cheryl, this isn't about you, you know. He told her the private jet was a clue that it really wasn't about the pot shop either. The only reason they got the order, so there was a story that Mike Flynn flew in with a team of special forces and blah, blah, blah. The only reason they got the order to even, that they were even allowed to go through all this was all because one vote for a marijuana shop in town. They had already remedied and nobody would rule on shit about the election. It was one vote about a marijuana shop. 2 hours later, Giuliani tweeted, big win for honest elections. Antrim County judge in Michigan orders forensic examination of 22 Dominion voting machines. This is where the untrustworthy Dominion machine flipped 6,000 votes from Trump to Biden. Speaking of votes, Dominion happened, by Dominion happened all over the state. Some powerful people had been snooping around on Bailey's behalf. For instance, the lawyer Catherine Fries, a member of Trump's legal team, had called Guy at her office. We want to clear your name, Fries told her. According to Guy, she wanted to access Antrim's county's equipment. You want to show that this isn't you, don't you? But Guy knew it was her mistake. I think she tried to woo me, Guy said. Fries contacted election workers in the townships too, Guy said, and tried to impress them with tales of recent dinners. You just got to go read this woman's story. I'm not going to read it all. We're only about a quarter of the way through it, and I didn't start at the beginning either. So the woman really was chastised. She was made out to be like this horrible person and part of a conspiracy, and she was in on it, and she did this, and she's a Republican county clerk. All she was trying to do was win her fucking election. Anyways, back to it. Let's go back to Phil. So we got the hair-lipped photo. I don't know what's going on with his lip here, what this indentation is, or what he's planning on doing with his finger, but it seems interesting, I'm sure. Why is he so smooth? I've never seen a guy with more selfies, more poses, more duck lips, more fucking Facetune, more smoothing. Let's have these perfect fucking eyebrows Carrie just plucked. Where's the Jesus chain? Very metrosexual. Very. So much. He then shares the video that we're going to talk about. So this is the video that I've been leading up to. I just had to get through all that other backed up shit, and we'll do this video now. Here we go.
All right, guys. I want to address this. I'm only going to address it once because I think it's nonsense. But since it's going around so much and I haven't really commented on it too much, I feel like I'm doing the rumor justice by not commenting on it. So I'm just going to be very, very brief. When I did my live a couple nights ago on the announcement that wasn't.
Yeah, he brought a brand new Corvette. It's that electric blue and black, and it's a brand new Corvette. It's the mid-engine, not the traditional front engine orientation. It looks something like this. I was going to go over that in a second, but it is forwarded from Phil. Here it is. There's this new vehicle. New purchase. $250 in prison for bouncing or in jail for bouncing a check. $250, less than $250 in the bank. Buying a Corvette and millions of dollars worth of property the next year. Not from your all's money. I was a crypto millionaire back when Bitcoin was a thing. Oh, really? Back in 2015? What? You had less than $250 in the bank in 2021, bro.
several people, because I didn't post the actual document, or did I post any words in text form of the document. The only thing that I did was read it.
Isn't that a Lambo? This car here? It's a Corvette. You see the oh shit, what the fuck just happened? Where'd it go? You see the flags up here on the hood? That's the new Corvette. It's a mid-engine Corvette. Hold on. It's the brand new design. It's going to be the pace car too. Yeah, here it is. New Corvette. That's the one he's got. Here's one from Carl Black Chevrolet. See the flags on the hood? That's been their symbol for a long time. They made it a mid. I mean, it kind of looks like a European supercar, but it's because it's a mid-engine now instead of a front engine. They're bad little cars. I don't think I would take your grandma's retirement to get one, but hell, I'd drive the fuck out of one. They're badass. I know a guy who owns one. I've never drove it. I don't think he would ever let me, but I know a guy who owns one. That blue, I like that blue color too. Just give me your 401k. Can you do one of those reverse mortgages on your house so I can get it? Gams.
People that were watching the live transcribed it themselves. They opened up a Word document or a notebook.
The base model's like 60,000, 65,000, somewhere around there probably.
You know, whatever. And they typed it out themselves. There were some grammatical errors. There were some words that were, I think, for example, one of them was black site versus black hat site. Anyway, they messed them up a little bit.
That's what it was.
But
Prove it. To shit, which one of your followers typed that out and took that screenshot and then distributed it on the internet? Which one of your followers would easily submit that to you and say, "Oh yeah, it was me. Here it is. Here's the Word document. Here it is. Open on my computer. Here it is. Right. Prove it."
majority of the message was accurate, so I didn't think to comment on it. And what I realized yesterday, I think it was last night, maybe this morning, maybe both, people are taking what Chip Littler said, and here's what Chip said. Chip took a screenshot of one of these transcriptions.
Okay.
Some of my followers did. He took a screenshot of one.
Well, where's the follower? Where did they type it?
And he said,
not one of them. We need to know which one. That would be easy to prove. If you know this, if you know that Chip took a screenshot of one of your followers, tell us which one.
this is what Joe M said in 2018. For those of you that don't know, Joe M is was a very prominent Anon in the Q movement. He put together a video called The Plan to Save the World. Most of you have seen it. In fact, it's on my Rumble channel. And
is it?
Many of the same things that...
Yeah, we know you steal your content. We got it.
...are in the plan to save the world. Not many, but some of the things that are in the plan to save the world were in that Trump transcript that I got a hold of. So
you did Cliff Notes, is what you're saying. Cliff Notes, got it.
I think what Chip was trying to say is, oh, this sounds similar to what Joe M, produced in 2018. I think that's what Chip was trying to say. At best, that's what Chip was trying to say. But at worst, and this is actually what
I've drove a few Corvettes. I can get in and out of one, all right. I used to ride to work in one when I worked over at the Duke Power Plant in Asheville.
At worst, I think Chip was saying that it is an exact replica of something that Joe M wrote, which is, it has to be a lie.
Oh my God.
Joe M, I didn't see anything like anything the transcript said from Joe M. The only thing similar.
You remember what Joe M wrote in 2018? Is that what you're saying? That makes sense.
That transcript is the plan to save the world. Now, it's on my Rumble channel. You could probably Google it. I wouldn't use Google, but use DuckDuckGo and type in the plan to save the world. In fact, type in the plan to save the world remastered. The remastered version is better than the original version. Added a couple things. It's very, very good. Joe was a great anon. He kind of went dark right after the inauguration.
Yeah, he said this is the precipice, like most of you idiots should have. Most you, I'll check it out. Like most you idiots should have. He stepped away and said this is the precipice. Either this is all happening and we were right and blah blah blah, or it's we were wrong, and I'm done. And when they were wrong, he was done.
Of Biden, I think he lost a lot of faith in the movement, and it's, you know, he has his reasons. But nonetheless, when you watch the plan to save the world, the theme of the plan to save the world and the theme of the transcript that I read the other night that was supposedly going to be Donald Trump's speech to the nation, they do have the same common theme. Are they exactly the same as this rumor that's going around? No. That is either a lie by Chip.
By the way, to all of my Japanese viewers, and we'll just go ahead and throw Korean, Chinese, to all my Asian viewers, you can now refer to me as Wilhelme. Okay, that's my new title I've been given from our own Japanese representative. So there you go, Wilhelme.
Littler that has spread like wildfire, or it is a mischaracterization of what Chip was trying to say.
He did. We saw the clip last night. Phil says, "Who's Joe M? A good friend of mine." But now they're just, I think I knew who he was at one point.
Chip should have kept his mouth shut about things that he doesn't know. You know, causing all this controversy and causing a rift in the movement, I think Chip will always be ashamed for. And Chip, if you're watching this, I think you know that you already are ashamed of it. And you should be.
Shame him.
You're causing a divide.
Phil also shamed people that were starving to death. So there's that.
Between our movement, which is the last thing that our movement needs. But you'll have to answer to it someday. So
we got our first dono clip. I think we can trust. It is from Spicy Atsuko, so we better be careful. Hold the mushrooms.
That's on you. But nonetheless,
Phil claims he's trying a unity vibe. Sure.
Came up, 5 years ago from another source, and Phil just found it and read it. That would be the dumbest thing I could possibly do to look like an absolute fraud, just like everybody tries to call me. Why would I read something like that?
Why would you make up something like this? No one showed up to the Virgin Islands to hand you a transcript of something fucking Trump was supposed to read at the Super Bowl but didn't. You don't think he has channels to distribute that if he wanted to? The fuck is wrong with you?
And put it out as an announcement, as a intended announcement of Donald Trump or the White Hats. That would be the dumbest thing. I'm not stupid, guys.
Yeah, I'd like to see Phil derail his fucking Corvette. That'd be fun to watch.
I don't know. People, listen, this has been happening for a couple of years. You have seen the lengths that the other side will go to try to make me look a certain way, whether it's bad in a legal sense or bad in a personal sense, or
losing your case and then claiming you're winning, or claiming that that you had an agreement with the victim to side with you, and now she's siding with the other side. It's very weird.
A bad father or bad husband or a bad boyfriend or bad. Everybody just wants you to think I'm bad because they don't.
Bad.
And you.
I am not. This is not true. I want you to listen to him. I want you to listen to Phil, and I want you to listen to him from a year ago. That's what I want you to listen to. Nothing has changed as far as it's about to happen next week. Nassara in 2021, yep. Nassara in 2022, yep. Nassara in 2023, yep. I got it from a very good source. I only answer these if I absolutely know the answer to it. There's no speculation. There's no misinformation. There's no disinformation. It should happen within the next couple weeks of 2021. Got it.
I've always said that.
None of this is happening. It's a game to see how fucking long you'll hang on and keep sending him views, keep sending him likes, which enables him to keep sending, for people to keep sending him money.
Right from the beginning, and you guys know this. You as an audience, as my audience, as followers of the Great Awakening, as followers of Q, as followers of me, as followers of any truther, you as an audience have the choice to use you have the discernment to use of your own to determine whether or not people like me are telling you the truth or people like me are lying to you. And it doesn't just have to be me. It could be anybody. It could be Charlie Ward. It could be Simon Parks. It could be Ron Watkins. It could be Marjorie Taylor Greene. It could be anybody. Insert name here. If you think they're feeding you a line of bullshit, don't follow them anymore. But what I have a problem with, and I guess it's my biggest gripe, is people are allowed to discern for themselves. You have the choice to discern for yourself. If what your gut and your heart and your brain is...
We've already established we don't take this approach in any other place in the world, okay? Let's say you start feeling ill, sick to your stomach, okay? You just suddenly get sick to your stomach, feel kind of lightheaded. You go to the hospital. The doctor at the hospital says you have pancreatic cancer. Stage 4, it started in your pancreas. It spread to all your organs. Would you be like, no, doc, I understand getting a second opinion. But would you be like, no, doc, I think I'm under to discern what's going on. I think I'm just going to sit here and discern what's happening with my pancreas, my stomach, and all my major organs. And I'll just discern to the bottom of it. Of course not. How many of y'all have ever fucking discerned your car repair? Well, you could take that to a mechanic if you don't know how to do it. You know, they'll do it under warranty, or you could pay a mechanic. It's expensive, but no, I think I'll discern. I think I'll discern a new set of rings on those pistons. And you just fucking stare at your car till it runs better. We've already established that's not good. Telling people to do their own research is a fucking bullshit excuse. They don't do it. I think you have more of an obligation to show both sides than just telling people to do their own research. And it damn sure doesn't cover it just saying, use your discernment, okay? If your interior feelings and your, what do they call that thing? Oh, yeah, I'm a Christian now. God is telling you that I'm right, then I'm right.
That is worth a lot more than what some guy or girl on the internet wants to make you believe. When some...
Have you guys... Somebody just said the gobbler discerned the engine knock was due to low tire pressure. Dude, have you guys seen the new Johnny Gobbler video? His engine locked up. There's a video of it knocking so bad, and the engine locked up on his car on a minivan. And it's a minivan. And he's complaining about the potholes around town and saying that they fucked up his car and that he thinks it's their rear end. But it's a front-wheel drive car.
Troll comes along. I call them trolls, but you could call them whatever you want to call them.
King troll, thank you.
When somebody like that comes around and tries to influence your discernment, what's the point of having discernment at all at that point?
Yeah, what's the point of having discernment at all? There's a difference between, okay, this guy wants to, go into business together, or this guy wants to do a deal together, or this guy has asked me to do this for him. I'm trying to trust my gut, right? Does he seem like a good guy? Seem like an honorable guy? Now, a lot of times you'll be wrong, but you can trust your gut on that. When we're trying to decide what's going on in the world at major geopolitical events and secret missions that only happen behind the scenes that no one can see, and then Phil's the only one that can connect all the dots, we probably don't want to be discerning that. That's about like discerning where your cancer is and then discerning as a treatment.
Isn't your discernment yours? Shouldn't you be able to decide for yourself? If you decide for yourself that I'm lying and that it's not believable or nonsensical, the things that I've been talking about for the last...
Not nonsensical?
That's okay. I'm okay with that. Everybody has that choice. But when you try to make others believe and not follow, that no longer makes you...
I hate the way his mouth moves.
Gives you the ability to use discernment. It makes you pathetic. You don't get to decide what other people watch or think or view or see. You have no right or control over that whatsoever. You have control over your own thoughts and beliefs, but you have no control over someone else's. That's not how the world works. No one's trying to control someone else's thoughts. No one's saying you should not think this way. I'm saying, here's the evidence. Here's how he lied. Here's how his story changed. If he does a show where the entire premise of the show is I cannot lie, I have to know for an absolute fact that this is true, it can't be misinformation and it can't be disinformation, and major issues, questions he covers on those shows are different 3 months apart, he's fucking lying. I'm not trying to tell you can't think something. I'm trying to say, please fucking think about this for a minute. Bad shape right now is because that's how everybody thinks. Everybody thinks that they get to decide what someone else thinks, and they get to force an agenda on somebody else. And why do they think that? Well, that's what the mainstream media does. That's what our educational system does. That's what our government...
You're the one trying to tell someone how to think, saying, "Oh, just use your discernment. Don't be like these guys. Don't watch these videos of people that prove I'm a liar, that proves I'm a cheat, that proves I'm a scoundrel. Don't watch those. Just use your discernment."
Not only our government in the United States, but governments worldwide. They look at mass mandates, forced vaccinations. When you see somebody trying to discern for you, that is the quickest and easiest indicator.
When this all comes out that he lied the entire time, they better form an angry mob. I'll start a GoFundMe for pitchforks.
Of the other side trying to influence your accurate beliefs. That's my opinion anyway, of course. But as far as this transcript going around, I've seen the screenshot. It is simply a document that someone typed up of the word.
Sure, let's see it. Who did it? So again, Phil gets all his excuses. The reason he didn't address it is he didn't know how to address it. So when one of the people in his chat said, "Oh, well, this word's misspelled, and it looks like there might be a cursor on the screen. Maybe it was just someone taking notes." He's like, "That was somebody taking notes." Just like when he showed the Titanic and never said shit about the ball game, but then someone said, "Oh, the ball game was 12-19. The Titanic sunk in 1912. That could have been he could have been predicting. I was predicting the score."
I said that night. It matches almost word for word, with the exception of a couple grammatical mistakes as well as a couple miswords.
No, the 10 words that you added to it are not there. The 10 words that you added to it are not there.
Like I said, they used, I think, black hat and
when you said Android, I got the words. Fuck. You added Apple, Android, and others, tablets, laptops, personal computers, and smartwatches. You know what wasn't as prevalent? What wasn't as prevalent in 2018? People having Apple, Android, and other tablets and others. Tablets, laptops, personal computers, and smartwatches. Kind of interesting.
black site, or vice versa. So
what?
Black site, I've seen the screenshot. It is simply a document that someone typed up of the words that I said that night. It matches almost word for word, with the exception of a couple grammatical.
Remember when Phil said, "I've been invited to the pit"? Oh, I mean, I was with the CIA there in Afghanistan.
As well as a couple miss words. Like I said, they used, I think, black hat site.
Miss words was pretty good.
Instead of black site, or vice versa. So I just don't want anyone to fall into the trap that you're being led into, because again, it's just another trap to try to get you to look the other way.
Such a trap. It's a trap. We're trapped.
I am stateside. I'm back in. I was just in Vegas, driving to Arizona right now. So I'm planning another live this weekend. As of right now, I had to talk to Carrie and the girls a little bit just to make sure that we don't have anything special going on. But love you guys, and I'll see you at the next live.
Love you guys. I'll see you guys at the next live. That's how much I love you. He then goes on within his Telegram to do... Oh, actually, let's play this. Atsuko sent our first dono clip, so let's see if it plays. First of all, she sent this. What is this, Atsuko? Is this a trip around the Japanese market? That sounds interesting as fuck. Atsuko. So the dono clips, you have to record something live. You can't, like, post a video from your phone. If you wanted to do that, you probably better send me a link through Buy Me a Coffee or something. I'd have to review it. But the dono clips, you have to record something live. But she did say that she was recording stuff as she was out today that she thought about putting in dono clips, but it wouldn't let her because it doesn't work like that. But here that is. What is this? Tofu Land. Oh, wait. I missed the text. Big, small, square, round, soft, hard, fried, roasted. A lot of tofu in a cup and tofu noodles. Watch CBC. Thank you very much. Comms. That's dog comms. That's dog comms right there. All right, let's play this dono clip because I'm excited about it. It's the first dono clip we got. I think it'll be fun when people start using it. I think people will find really fun and interesting ways to use it, and I think it'll be pretty cool. So let's see what we got from Atsuko. I'm gonna hit play on stream, and hopefully you'll be able to see it and hear it. Let's see. Hi, Atsuko. And my pillow. Thank you very much, Atsuko. Thank you very much. That was our first ever dono clip. That was our first ever. I should probably make it a little bit bigger, shouldn't I? That was our first ever dono clip. That was pretty cool. Thank you very much. Thank you for the pillow shot and the wave. Hello. You're so I can't even tell you're shy. Outgoing, I would say, honestly. Oh, very good, Atsuko. Thank you very much. I appreciate that for the donation and for the clip. I like that. It was probably right that was our first one. Thank you very much. All right, back to Phil. Let's see. Okay, here we go. So then he shares Q, the Plan to Save the World Remastered, on a BitChute link. He says, here you go. And he says, wow, if that doesn't give you chills everywhere in your body, you better check your pulse. You may be dead. So now we know. If that doesn't give you chills everywhere in your body, you better check your pulse. You may be dead. You understand? Are you alive or are you dead? That's what we need to know. Damn it, I'm trying to center this and it won't. It should go to 329, 330. It won't. Okay, it's centered close enough. Either way. All right, so then he shares this video that says, a sincere apology. A sincere apology. Now, we've seen Phil's apologies before. I don't think they're ever sincere. But you decide.
So, I just watched that. Now, I've seen that dozens and dozens of times.
What is this fucking 1,000 yards? I just watched that. And I've seen that dozens and dozens. It's like a Vietnam vet reliving the fucking town they burned down. What is that fucking 1,000-yard stare?
But I just watched that. Well, rather, I listened to it.
All feet dono clips will be forwarded to Miss Priss for her full review. Also, I don't know, somebody apparently got into the Meat Hammer Militia chat, and beside every moderator's name in there, in the Meat Hammer Militia Telegram, it says admin, except for one person. It either says admin or admin_bot, except for one person there. I noticed somebody was different. I don't know if anybody else noticed that or not, but one name in there as admin is different. It's very strange.
On the drive about 4 or 5 times in a row. And
You watched it 4 or 5?
On the drive about 4 or 5 times in a row.
Why'd you watch it 5 times in a row?
But I just watched that. Well, rather, I listened to it on the drive about 4 or 5 times in a row.
Well, that seems silly. That's your first mistake. My bad.
And it reminds you of who the enemy is, and that we are not each other's enemy. And that the rift between us
What's he apologizing for, chat?
is exactly what they want. To anyone who is out there that is capable of listening to this message right now,
Let me tell you how important this message is with his fake fucking tears and I watched it 4 or 5 times bullshit. The guy who wrote the message gave up in 2018. The fuck are y'all doing? I'm sorry, in 2021. The fuck y'all doing in 2023?
the rift between us is exactly what they want. To anyone who is out there that is capable of listening to this message right now, if you had ever had a difference with me in the past year, 2, 3, because of something, you know, that happened in a Telegram channel, or a ban, or, you know, maybe you were on a bad day and you said some comments that I didn't like, or my moderators didn't.
I just want to let you know that it's okay. We can come together. And do you have a daughter in 8th grade and or freshman year of high school? This motherfucker is begging people to come back to his channel. Begging.
Just come.
Those bots don't sign up for silver. Those bots don't use Phyllis on a miner. Those bots don't spend money. Those bots don't donate. They actually cost money.
Come back. No questions asked. We are not each other's enemy. They
The
want
final countdown.
your enemy.
What?
We are not each other's enemy. They They want you to be my enemy, and they want me to be your enemy.
Oh, okay.
Joe said it best. We're all slaves. We've all fallen for it. We've all taken their bait. We've all taken their beatings. And now more than ever, we all need to stand together. Just come back. Be amongst fellow slaves. Why are we dividing slaves into trolls and Phil supporters or whoever supporters? Why are we doing?
Well, because you're a dirty, scummy piece of shit, allegedly, who allegedly seems to be profiting off the elderly sector of QAnon believers that are still left over in, and believe it or not, 2023. Most of the young people, most of the people that were in it for probably genuine reasons, most of the hardcore believers and the people they called the bakers and the Anons that were around back then are gone. They all fucking gave up. They're all fucking done. They're all out of here. You're in a segment of people who just found out about it last year and the year before, and you're making bank off of it while they suffer, and you keep telling them help is just around the corner. By the end of this year, by the end of next month, by the end of this week, and it never comes, Phil. It never fucking comes.
It's what they want us to do. That's how we got here to begin with, isn't it?
The only thing Phil's a slave to is his lies.
And yet we're still falling for the same old thing, aren't we? My new channel's open. The link is above. Why don't we stand united
I'm still waiting on that lawsuit, bro.
against these terrible people? It's okay to have a difference of opinion, but we're still, no matter whether we like it or not, we're still on the same side. And if you're on the side of evil, then obviously I'm not talking to you.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
If you feel like you're a patriot, if you feel like that video that you just watched resonates with you and you feel it deep down in your bones, then just stand next to me. Stand, not me in front of you as a leader, not as you as a follower. Stand next to me. Because at the end of the day, I want everything that's in that video more than anyone could possibly want it.
Sure you do. I'm sure you're still probably pretty fresh in the whole letdown thing, considering you just started this in 2021. I know you claim you've been here. I was there the summer before QAnon started. I knew it was a thing. Sure. Except you weren't. You didn't join until 2021. On the eve of the Biden election, or the Biden inauguration. That's when you fucking jumped ship over here and began to profit off of it, and became a Christian, and became a millionaire, and became a Jesus chain wearing, non-drinking.
Look around you. Look around at your life. Look around at your overall happiness. Look around at the relationships that you forged over the years with your family, with your friends, with your colleagues. And if you look at all that stuff and other stuff, I think that you'll be able to see that there's a common theme that has embedded itself into your life. And that common theme is division. Division over unity. It has to stop. They were too powerful. They were too crafty. They outwitted the good guys for decades. Maybe centuries. And by us continuing to be divided on Telegram and on Rumble and on all these different platforms.
I hate these calls to be a team, right? We're not on the same team. We're not the same breed. I'm better than you. I'm sorry. Sorry if you don't like it. I'm fucking better than you.
They're just sitting back and laughing at us.
No, I'm not turning up his audio anymore. It's just fucking wind noise. I can't help it. He doesn't understand how a phone or a microphone works.
So, if I've ever called you a troll in the past, I apologize.
Coming soon, donate to Phil via JPay.
Have said before that may have angered me or may have caused me to want to separate from you. I don't believe you did that for any other reason than what the cabal has made you as.
Phil could fix this. If Phil really wanted to bring this together, Phil could fix this. Show us undeniable proof that you're Edward Snowden, that you work for the NSA, that you work for the CIA, that you were roommates with Ezra Cohen Watnick, that you speak regularly to Trump, that you know how to access the fucking dark web from your secret computer that only accesses the dark web, that you can program any fucking program, including Prism. Show us. You could bring everybody together, Phil. The reason Chip left, and now you're begging people to come back, is because there was no proof. Bring some fucking proof. He can't. There is none.
Educated you with over the years of your life. And I really want things to change, you know. There should be no reason why we can't all be unified and stand together against this group that has done nothing but torture us. And all of our ancestors for centuries. So, no questions asked, no hard feelings. Let's start over.
No questions asked would probably be the only way he would let people in, because he can't answer any of these questions. He can't answer any of these questions.
Let's put our foot down, and when the time comes, let's lift.
Phil may be turning into some business issues. Have you guys wondered why he's why he's polling his chat, why he's planning on starting a brand new business venture? $7K pays him more than he'll probably ever need, right? $700,000 a year at the level he's at, and they're making a new level for him supposedly. Not to mention ads on top of that. Not to mention multiple channels running ads. They probably don't pay as good as his main channel because there's not many followers there. But basically, everybody's figured out his main channel is fucking full of bots. I think that's why he stopped running ads. I think it's exactly why he stopped running ads on Telegram. He said he felt bad for running ads and making money off of it. Then he started running ads during his show. I think they stopped paying because there weren't the numbers. So, like, a company can tell if they usually get 10% click-through rate and you've got a 2% click-through rate, then either your people fucking hate you on buying from you or they're bots.
Our foot. Kick those motherfuckers right in the ass.
Oh, my God. I want you to apologize for that.
Join me.
What are you, Jervis?
Beside me, not behind me. We fight together.
I can't wait to find out who he is. Nobody. A guy that worked at Subway. There's a picture of his mom's store on Facebook now. There's a picture of his mom's store on Facebook now. Osmolia Market or whatever, in the Subway he worked at. And the Subway he worked at, when he's like, where was I from this date to this date? Well, according to you, you got multiple degrees and you were in Oh, I don't think I showed you guys this, did I? Let me see. Where did I put that at? It was the Doug link. Okay, so this is a good. I'm gonna make this into a very short clipped version. But you guys can tell me in chat, what did Phil say about Mensa when he was called out on it? He never claimed he was a member of Mensa, right? He never claimed he was he said that he just took the test. He never claimed he was a member of Mensa, ever. That he just took the test, and that's the paper they send you when you take the test. Now, I've taken the test. That's not the paper they send you when you take the test. That's the paper they send you when you join. It says you're a member. It says you're a member. What did Phil say about, or what did the court documents say now about Phil? He has no degrees. How many degrees? 0. Degrees in what? Nothing. How many college degrees? 0. None. Nada. Zilch. Let's see if Phil's being honest with us. Phil wouldn't lie to us, would he?
We don't want to arrest. I said this to start the night out tonight. We don't want to arrest just the metals, and they're doing fine with that. And central banking structure involved with the thing that had nothing. There are a lot of truthers out there that bash me, that'll bash you guys, that'll bash. This doesn't tie into anything that I know, so I have a hard time buying it.
God bless him if he is the person he is. That's great as well.
Yeah, it ties in and it makes sense. I mean, if.
And do you believe in the flat Earth?
I'll tell you guys what. I have seen more evidence of flat Earth than I have the heliocentric model, and not only
folks, flat Earth is only for smart people.
Well, you really, here's the thing. We have been as.
It always sounds better when someone goes, I'm telling y'all, folks, if you ain't believing in flat Earth, you ain't a smart pants.
A human race since the very first thing that we've seen when we walked into elementary school, kindergarten, first grade, preschool even, is a globe and a map. And we're told the Earth is round.
That tells you how long we've known this. This isn't a new discovery. People are bucking. Oh, you're gonna make Pluto not a planet? Bullshit. I think it's a planet.
You could recite Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto before 4th grade. You know, you can't do multiplication tables, but you know all the planets in the universe. And then after 3rd or 4th grade, it never becomes a thought anymore. It's so indoctrinated in the back of your brain that you don't.
Indoctrined.
The Earth is round.
It's so indoctrined in the back of your brain that you don't even think about it anymore. It's so indoctrined into the back of your brain, you don't even think about it anymore.
There are 9 planets in our solar system. The universe is constantly expanding. We spin at 1,000 miles an hour on our axis. We travel 10,000 miles an hour through the. There's so many outlandish thoughts when you start looking back at those basic theories that we thought about the heliocentric model of Earth.
I think he looked it up before he started. It is. I think I can do it. Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. But I think he looked it up before he started.
And space and the universe and all this stuff. There's so many basic
Because I'm a
dots
dick.
that we just assume and we just take.
That was from Someone Bought You a Six Pack. Thanks for all you do for us. Thank you very much. Thanks for being here. Especially if you're one of the people that show up 7 days a week, and when I play games and anytime I got the damn stream on, some of these people are here. Thank you for being here and watching.
As you know, actual beliefs because we're told it. But you know what else we were told? We were told Joe Biden won the election. We were told that, you know, that there, you know, we were told all these things over the last several months. So when you start looking at all the lies that we were recently told, I have to start looking in the flat earth. And when I look in the flat earth, I see a reflection of.
Get ready. Here we go. There is no reflection. We've looked at this over and over and over and over and over again. There literally is no, like, yeah, there's some gray areas that people could be like, oh, that sort of looks like a massive land. There is no exact reflection. Why does it keep downloading the motherfucker? There is no exact reflection of the earth and the moon, of the land on earth and the moon. It just isn't there. It isn't there. Not to mention, this shit falls all the way off the side. What's this shit? Touching the ice wall? Like, yeah, you could try to say that, like, this is Europe, and a part of I don't know, the Middle East, I guess, and this is Africa. The fuck is this? Where's Russia? Where's the U.S.? Is this supposed to be the U.S.? What the fuck is this mass of junk attached to it? Like, I don't know why he keeps saying that there's an exact map of the land on Earth on the moon. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
I see evidence of a firmament. I see declassified CIA documents that say the CIA tried to blow up, or not the CIA, but the military and the U.S. government, collaborating with other governments around the world, tried to launch nuclear weapons at the firmament to collapse it. It was
That's not true. So this is called Operation Fishbowl. I've went over this before. Me and Mariah used to do a show together where we both picked a conspiracy theory to go over and try to explain it to the other person. It was actually really fun. But Operation Fishbowl is not them trying to collapse the firmament. It was high-altitude nuclear weapons testing. And nuclear weapons testing had been banned for a long time. But they were just starting to figure out that, like, nuclear weapons could be used for, like, EMPs, and for different applications, like aerial bursts. So they started doing these tests with these high altitude explosions to see what they would do. They were talking about flash blindness, flash burns, EMPs. They actually had this scheduled twice, but it got like delayed the first time. And then the Soviet Union started doing some shit. The Soviet Union started saying they were going to start testing nuclear weapons again. So we were like, we fucking stepped our shit up and just started blowing shit up in the sky.
Called Operation Fishbowl. So there's more evidence to prove that there is flat Earth than evidence against flat Earth. Let me give you the best example of flat Earth.
They weren't trying to blow up the firmament. That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard.
Okay, this is the best example.
I miss Doug.
This is a baseball.
Okay, here we go. Now, listen, guys. This is a genius here. I think he said he has a 148 IQ. A genius here. And he's going to throw a baseball up.
Now, I am sitting stationary on my computer chair. Okay? I'm holding the baseball in my hand. Okay? The official theory of Earth says that the Earth spins at 1,000 miles an hour on its axis. 1,000 miles an hour.
Okay. Here's the problem with the Earth spins at 1,000 miles an hour. Relative to size. Okay? You spin from the center, right? So if I opened up a paint document, I'm trying to open it now. Oh, we might have some hiccups. I forgot that I'd updated my driver today. But let's say I open up a paint document, okay? And let's say that like you said, we spin at 1,000 miles an hour. Sure, whatever. How big is that? Okay, a little bit bigger. If this is the center axis, right here, okay, and our planet was this size, and for the time it took to get to here, all the way back to here, right? If we rotated all the way back to here, 360 degrees, we knew that took us 1,000 miles an hour, okay? There would be a lot of force on that. A lot of force on that. Look how small that is. Look how tight it's turning. You would have to turn very quickly, 1,000 miles an hour. But if our planet is this big, people don't understand how big the fucking planet is. If our planet is this big, and that's not centered now, but rotates on the same axis, it's a whole hell of a lot slower. There's no need to think ever to think of the planet as spinning as any miles an hour. Because you know how fast the planet spins? 1 revolution a day. 1 revolution a day. Now, 1,000 miles an hour and 10,000 miles an hour around the sun sounds a lot scarier when you're trying to convince people of flat Earth. But we do 1 Now, get in your car and find your block that you live on and make it take all fucking day, 24 hours and some change to drive around your block. Does that feel fast? Does that feel like you're freaking out, going to be thrown out of the car? Of course not. It spins 1 revolution a day. It's just hard for people to grasp how big the fucking Earth is.
Big ball of Earth is speeding through space at 10,000 miles an hour at a constant rate. And we're rotating around the sun at another 30,000 miles. It's this crazy number.
Orbiting.
If all of that is true, and I have this baseball in my hand, and I go like this, why isn't this baseball right now in Cleveland?
Okay. Let me ask Phil the same question. Get in the back of a truck. Get in an SUV. Get an SUV. Have somebody driving that SUV bring it up to 120 miles an hour. 120 miles an hour on the interstate. Take that same baseball and throw it up in the air. See if it goes through your fucking skull and out the back window at 120 miles an hour in the opposite direction. Of course not. The same momentum is already imparted on the same events. If you jump in the back of a U-Haul truck, you don't go flying through the fucking door, even if it's doing 200 miles an hour.
There you go.
If
Well, you convinced two fat guys, so you got it.
1,000 miles an hour, and this thing is in the air is not spinning at 1,000 miles. This is now taking off.
It literally is. The entire atmosphere is spinning with us. Do you feel a constant 1,000-mile-an-hour wind?
The grounded atmosphere from my chair to the ground. I threw this up in the air. This thing should have moved. If the Earth is spinning,
that's right.
And if
let him know, Brett Zelda.
If the Earth isn't spinning, we are complete. Everything else about
100 miles.
never. They never do that. You are and on to watch.
Here we go. Welcome to this fucking lie that's getting ready to come out. You won't believe this fucking lie is getting ready to say. Please be a bunch of Phil fucking followers hate watching me. Please remember what he said about I never claimed I never claimed that I was in Mensa. I never, I don't have any college degrees is what I put on my court documents when I really had to prove the paperwork. The Scranton Times lawyer has called every school he claims to have attended in his live streams. None of them have any paperwork on him. He has zero degrees.
I'll do them live with you. You cannot tell on Earth is reflected in the moon is a perfect. Yeah, that's another thing. Find that proof. You know why? Because it's sit here and say no, Earth is flat. You know, I have a 148. That's what the heliocentric people think. But I'm not. I'm very well educated. I have multiple college degrees. I'm a member of Mensa. I have a 148 IQ. I'm not somebody that's going to.
What? What did you just say? Very well educated, got multiple college degrees. He's a member of Mensa and has a 148 IQ. Kind of weird he claims the exact opposite now and claims that he never fucking said it. He never said, I never said I was a member of Mensa. I never said I had multiple degrees. I never went to college. I have 0 degrees. I never claimed that I was very well educated. I never it seems kind of weird because here you are claiming it. On in 4K, motherfucker.
I'm open to it. I'm not going to sit here and say no, Earth is flat. You know, I'm set in my theories. That's what the heliocentric people think. But I'm not. I'm very well educated. I have multiple college degrees. I'm a member of Mensa. I have a 148 IQ. I'm not somebody that's going to dismiss anybody's theories, but I am going to do the research myself. I'm going to look at.
There you go. There's his lies. There's his lies from his own mouth. Told me he never claimed he was a member of Mensa. He said he has the paperwork because his mom, he took the test and didn't want to send it in, but his mom did it and he framed it. He then shares a post from St. Jude the Dude that says, according to my calculations, Phil is twice as smart as Trump. And Trump has a 157 IQ score. That's a lie. Trump does not have a 157 IQ score. There's no goddamn way. No goddamn way. I'm not trying to be mean. People who are part of the upper brackets of intelligence, okay, easily identify other smart people. I can tell when someone's smart right off the bat. Trump does not have a one. Oh, bullshit. Anyways, now the IQ scale is almost a logarithmic. So you can't double the score, but Phil comes in about 189. This is a post that I'm pretty sure he wrote to himself. I'm pretty sure he wrote this to himself. I'm almost positive he has written this to himself, and he just shared it, I guess, to prove to himself. I don't know. The highest theoretical score for an IQ test would be 200, and they're trying to say he's at 189. At 130 and above, you're considered far superior, and you're less than 2% of the population or something around that. I think he's below average, to be honest with you, Phil. Anyways, it says Phil comes in at around 189, which is in the 0.02 top percentile, meaning he's smarter than nearly everyone any of us will ever meet. That is why his comms are so cryptic. He literally is calculating the codes as he's speaking. Yeah, we've saw that. he can't come up with shit to say, so he's like, a green light, dog in road, yield sign, sexy 8th grader. He's just driving around reading shit or saying shit that he sees at his car. When he does it in his house, he's like, avocado, toaster, bread tie. Yeah, it's dumb. We get it. We get it. Phil then says, thanks for the compliment, but I think this might be a slight stretch. I think this might be a slight stretch. Just slightly. Just slightly. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Okay? Just a little bit. What's he say after that? He shares another one from someone named Shane that says, to be fair, this is another one I think he wrote. People can't actually believe this. Can they? Can they? Listen, Shane says, to be fair, Phil is ex-CIA and NSA, if he is whom we think he is. Snowden was not CIA or NSA. He was a contractor. Even if he was Edward Snowden, go read who Edward Snowden was. What is wrong with you guys? He was a contractor. The time he spent in the CIA, the time that Edward Snowden spent in the CIA, he was there for a time, but it was from the Global Communications Division for the Langley headquarters, or for Langley, Virginia, or whatever. And he was like a tech nerd. He was what they call a junior employee on one of their computer teams. He was technically an employee, I guess. I shouldn't have said that. He was technically an employee. He also spent some time doing other things. He tried to join the military. He tried to go Special Forces. That didn't work out. He went in as 18 X-ray, which is Special Forces candidate, but he didn't complete the training because he had like stress fractures or some shit. He had stress fractures, so he ended up getting out on medical without completing any of the training. So he like joined and left in the same year. He was a security guard at a college. I don't want to get it out of order. He was a security guard at a college facility. And that already had him. So this college facility, the college facility he was a security guard at was called, it was in Maryland, University of Maryland, and it's the Center for Study of Language, or whatever it is. And a lot of people think that the Center for Study of Language does a lot of like shit with like black ops groups, because there's some classified areas in this college, and to be the security guard where he was at, you had to have a very high security clearance that you could clear. Okay, you had to be able to hold a top secret just to be a security guard to get in this place. So obviously they're doing something with the government. They also have OPM do a full investigation on you. It's obviously they're doing something with the government. That was his door into. That's right. Really, Mike Jones. That was his door into the CIA. He went to a job fair where he was offered a position in the communications division. That ended up him being a junior employee on a computer team. And he had to, that's when he did all his training and studying or whatever to go to Geneva, Switzerland. He was the IT, he maintained the IT system in Geneva, Switzerland at the embassy in 2007, somewhere around there. And so he did, I misspoke. He did work for the CIA. But the NSA part is not true. Okay? So as far as NSA, in 2009, he left the government and went to work for Dell Computers. And Dell Computers, he assigned him, because he already had a security clearance, because he had another background and shit, They assigned him to work at a base in Japan where they handle an NSA facility. And he basically told people how to keep Chinese hackers out of their, all kinds of hackers, but the big threat was Chinese hackers. The big threat was Chinese hackers because of where they're at in Japan, and it was part of the NSA thing. So he taught people how to protect not only their computer, but their networks at home, their cell phones, all that shit from being hacked, because at the time China was rolling out all their brand new mass surveillance bullshit and intentionally targeting the U.S. so they could do shit like they're doing today, right? With the fucking balloons and shit. Now, he worked for Dell at this time, not the NSA. He was a subcontractor. Okay, he was an employee with Dell Computers. Now, he worked there for like 4 years. He basically signed a contract to work with them. He worked there for 4 years. He did some computer upgrades and shit like that. He ended up going to India, I believe. He ended up going to India, where he like went to school for a little bit. I don't think he completed it. And he was doing what people call ethical hacking, like where you pen test and shit like that. He then comes back home and worked for Dell on their CIA account. Okay, he works for Dell on their CIA account remotely. Remotely, I don't think he's actually going to the CIA headquarters or nothing. He's working remotely, managing their networks, basically. So the reason he never worked for the NSA at all. He worked for the CIA as a junior employee, didn't really have access to anything. Then he went to work for Dell, and when he went over to Dell, he started seeing these things that bothered him. So in 2012, I believe, he quits Dell. He quits Dell already knowing that there's fucked up shit going on and already with a plan to expose it. Now, he doesn't have any documents on him. He didn't steal any documents. He didn't steal any secrets at this time, but he knows there's secrets that need to be put out. And he takes a job with a contractor called Booz Allen and Hamilton, knowing that this job is going to be his foot in the door to get the documents out. So the last job he had was basically a cover. He already knew what he was going to do. He already knew he was going to expose them. He already knew what he needed to get to expose them. The whole last job was a fucking cover for him. And when he went to Booz Allen and Hamilton, he claims that when he was working with Dell, he saw James Clapper he says he saw, when he was still at Dell, before he went to Booz Allen and Hamilton, he says he saw James Clapper testifying in front of Congress and lying to people, and that was his breaking point, the straw that broke the camel's back. 3 days later, he quits and gets a job at Booz Allen Hamilton. Now, when he went to Booz Allen Hamilton, that's where he ends up going to the NSA Hawaii Regional Operations Center or whatever, which is supposed to be electronic monitoring for the NSA for China and North Korea, but also had access to all the stuff they were doing on U.S. citizens. That's when he starts taking all the shit. That's when he starts getting it out of there. That's when he grabs every fucking thing while he was working that job. And he knew from the day he took it, that that's what he was going to be doing. He didn't move from Dell and for a better opportunity and then it's like, fuck it. The only reason he left Dell and went to Booz Allen Hamilton was because he knew what he was going to do. He knew he was going to expose these secrets, and he knew he was going to take it out and show people. And that's what he did. But he didn't work for the NSA. So people that keep saying, oh, Phil, you works for the CIA and NSA. No, he didn't. Even if he was Edward Snowden, he wouldn't. But he's not. But even if he was. It's not. So they go on to say, to be fair, Phil is ex-CIA and NSA. If he is whom we think he is, it's not unimaginable to believe that he's being targeted in some fashion. As smart as he is, I'm positive he's aware of it. Now, I'm not just reading random comments that some idiot left. These are comments that Phil intentionally forwarded to his own page as if to agree with them. We've already established that when Phil forwards these things, he's giving them the green flag, the yes, or he's going to say, you're crazy, this is wrong. Like he did earlier. He said, I think this is a little bit of a stretch. But if he forwards it and says nothing, he's agreeing with that shit. He then forwards something from somebody named Lisa Crowder, probably his 5th account. And it says, I was so glad to see Phil post about the rumor. His intel was plagiarized from Joe M. I wasn't quite sure what to believe about the rumor, so I'm proud of Phil for addressing the rumor and explaining his point of view. What amazed me the most was not the explanation, but the second video where he addressed the impact Joe M's video had on him. Phil, bravo. You are behaving as all of us on Earth should behave when evil or enemies challenge our truth. The fight is good versus evil and against Americans, so we become weaker and weaker. Why would it be good versus evil and against America? Are Americans good or evil? As a whole? There's not just like good Americans and evil Americans? That seems weird. It's so true. When we argue and push against the narrative, trolls or those paid to cause division. Listen, I'm going to tell you guys this for the last time. Everybody says I'm a paid CIA, blah, blah, blah. If the CIA is listening, I'll take a job. Just send me the money. God damn. If you're already pinning it on me, send me the check, motherfuckers. I'm waiting. You are behaving as all of this fight is good versus evil, blah, blah, blah. Push against the narrative. Trolls are those paid to cause division. Will be divide this fight to save our country. We are stronger together. We all know evil will not and cannot stand against love. When we can't, yes, evil will destroy love. Evil doesn't give a fuck about your love. Love doesn't defend off fucking evil people. When next time there's a fucking serial killer in your goddamn house getting ready to slit your throat after he violently seedless grapes you, say, but I love my husband. But I love him. When we can agree to disagree, we stand together and stand strong as Americans. Until we stand united, we stand. Divided, we fall. Evil knows which is why they fight so hard to separate and divide Americans every way they can. They have used our religion, race, gender, sexual preferences, food, culture, even our belief in God. We must stand together, trolls and all. We are stronger together. They're inviting us over. Then he forwards something from Mary that says, my last post didn't really make the point I wanted to make. If it weren't for Phil, where would we be? If it weren't for Phil, where would it be? Probably a lot more money in your fucking pocket. Probably a lot less likely to unalive yourself in 6 months when nothing still happened. Probably a lot better off and not on Telegram. Probably not a member of 7K or Melaleuca where you're not even going to get back your initial investment for 90-some% of you. Probably in a lot better situation. My last post didn't really make the point I wanted to make. If it weren't for Phil, where would we be? He is the original whistleblower. Let that sink in. None of this would have the momentum it has if not for Edward, Mark, Phil. All the same person. A mishmash of unbelievable personas who have freed humanity. I believe it's that big. He shares this with no, what the fuck does that have to do with the show? He shares this with no context, no comment on his behalf. That some lady thinks that he's the original whistleblower, that they would be lost without him, that he's Edward Snowden, Mark Poole, and Phil Godlewski, all one and the same. He's the Trinity, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. A mishmash of unbelievable personas who have freed humanity. I believe it's that big. Then he shares his last post is from someone named Carrie that says, not the same, spelled the same way as Phil does. It says, is it a coincidence that Phil was in the Virgin Islands on the day the lawsuit was filed? Dear Jesus. I don't even know what the fuck they're talking about here, to be honest with you. I guess I'll have to go over here to see. Hold on. Forwarded from Carrie. No, that's not it. In Phil's channel, someone says coincidence. Phil's in the Virgin Islands the day the lawsuit was filed. What lawsuit was filed? I'm really beginning to wonder if we all should peacefully protest the way things have gone, and now much more. We all going to take not having duly elected. Enough is enough. I'm ready. I just wish. Oh, enough is enough just reminded me of something disgusting. We need to come together and screaming best DC. I don't know what lawsuit they're talking about. What lawsuit was just recently filed, I guess. He chewed me out for defending someone who stood up for Julie Green. I let him know he was misguided and judgmental. Yeah, I don't know what. Okay, here it is. Anyone see the lawsuit just filed in the Virgin Islands on February 15th on child trafficking? What? White Hat Grandpa shared it apparently on Truth Social. Let me see. Is it a coincidence that Phil was there? No, he might be a target of the investigation. You guys know for sure that he isn't? Do you guys know for sure that he isn't? Oh, the JP Morgan Chase shit? Is that what they're talking about? That wasn't filed yesterday. That was filed a while back. U.S. Virgin Islands suing JP Morgan Chase. That wasn't filed yesterday. It filed it in December. There was a news story that come out of it on the last couple of days. But that was filed like back in December or some shit. It looks like that's what they're talking about. The JP Morgan Chase is being sued by people related to the victims of Jeffrey Epstein because apparently they were kind of turning and looking away while providing him loans and accepting his collateral and knew that something weird was going on, basically. But that wasn't even filed while he was there. That was filed last month. That was filed back in December, I believe. Right at the end of December it was filed. Or that's when everybody was talking about it first. Fine. All right. What else do we have to cover besides Phil? A couple things. So it would seem as if I wish I wasn't on YouTube right now. First of all, I read Enough is Enough. And then that reminded me of this. This is a post from Jesus Christ. I don't You guys know who Gordon is? Gordon Harkless. Gordon Harkless from Enough is Enough. He was the one that was with Sunshine and Mary and had that whole thing going on. He's a big fat guy that said Mary sucked all his demons out. And he ate that dog that time on the couch while we were watching a live stream for lunch, a brunch, a light snack. I can't remember. He's kind of a useless person, but he decided to post a picture today of his finger. It looks like I hope it's his finger. And this is what he posted. Now, I don't know what the context around this is. All I know is this was fucking forwarded as a post from him. It doesn't even look like his finger. That skin looks like his knee, doesn't it? I thought it was his finger before I blowed it up. That looks like his knee. That doesn't look like a finger. Because if it was a fingerprint, it would have fingerprint to it. Is that his knee? Is that his butt cheek? Is that the back of his head? What is that? I have no context with of why he posted this. It does look like it has a little bit of mustard in it, okay? It does look like there's a little bit of mustard There, it's his knee. Okay, but why did he post it? Is that his brain? I don't know what the fuck that is. Tiny little alien baby. One of those, it looks like one of those peppers you get at Papa John's. What are they called? A peppercino or whatever? It's a booger on a scab. There you go. Good guess. Bottom of his heel. It's Phil's toe face. Yeah, it could be. Yeah, we get it's his knee, but why did he post it? People are just making jokes. You don't have to keep saying it's his knee, but why did he post it? Is he just posting like, hey, look, my knee's infected? I'm in that chat. But it's from his like main page. Gordon, hold on. I bet his shit's private. Yeah, it's probably private. I can't get into it anyways. That yellow's unreal. So he has no hair on his legs. Mary sucked him out with the evil. Friction, I think. Rubbed him off. Is that the evil that Mary sucks out? Oh, I hope not. It's probably thick. It's probably thick. His fat's gushing out of his finger. Go fund my knee. Oh. Okay, there's more. There's more to it. Hold on. So the next one apparently looks like this. Okay. Looking a little bit better. Who would share? That's just fucking disgusting. Who would even share that? Who would even share that shit? That's disgusting. Let's see if this last one will come up. I felt bad sharing my swollen ankle one time. I'm like, man, that's disgusting. Here's how he should have shared it. That's much better. Much better. He looks like a mummy. Who did this fucking gauze job? Jesus Christ. I'm turning into a wound technician going and doing my dad's wound every day. I could do much better than that. Much better. Let's play some activity feed while I switch around here. Late happy birthday to Will. Happy birthday to Dad Bird. No thank you to Susan, who couldn't be bothered to tell me as she was too busy running around being a Walmart Batman. That makes sense. She's pretty bad about that. Thank you very much for the bits. I appreciate it. Thank you for that. I'm so excited about Dono Clip. I bet you we get some funny ones eventually. Let's see. What else happened today? Well, do you guys remember Derek Johnson and his video, Real Cool Kinda Hot? Now, I could be wrong, but we're about to look it up. I could be wrong, but I'm almost positive I've heard him brag. I've heard him brag about watching the song, or about writing the song, about writing this amazing fucking song. And in the video, it literally starts off. I can't play the music because we're on YouTube and I get banned. But it literally starts off with him writing the song in the video. That's him writing the song. Real Cool Kinda Hot. Got it. So that's him writing the song. And then he's riding around with his cousin for some reason. Right? We get all that. And I'm almost positive I've heard him say that he wrote this #1 song, Billboard, something another. Turns out he didn't write that song. And if he ever claims he wrote that song, it is absolutely not true. So there is another YouTube channel that someone found the song on, this one. Brian Callahan. I know you can't hear it, but I'll let a snippet play here. I want to get copyright struck. We'll wait till he sings the words. You know what it is.
Pull back in a camo cap with a catfish on the line.
Hair pulled back in a camo cap with a catfish. I know you guys heard me sing that. Well, it turns out that this guy sounds so much better than Derek Johnson. He did a very good job of it. He's actually the guy who wrote the song. He's actually the guy who wrote the song. So Austin ends up sending him, or somebody, I got this, they forwarded it to me. Somebody ends up sending him this song and he responds, he's one of the writers on it. And they say, laugh out loud, that's not what Brian says. He said, he wrote the song with Win Varble and Phil O'Donnell. And they say, not Derek. He said, I never claimed to write it. It's weird. Then he said, I never claimed to write it. But Phil O'Donnell produced it, so it doesn't really matter. It was a Billboard hit and already passed through the Billboard system, so have fun. Then they said, well, in the music video where you're pretending to write it, what are you doing? In the music video where you're pretending to write it, what are you doing then? And Derek says, not sure what your motive is, but I could really care less. It's a video. Then he shows clapping. It's a video. Duck face. That's the one where he's riding around in the car with a guy in the back and this beside him is for a different whole video. It is it's the Right Beer Right Now. So he says, it's a video. People like you are what's wrong with the world. Keyboard warrior. And the person responds, is that right? You spend more time yelling into your phone than any other wounded warrior, riding on your brother's coattails. And wouldn't you know it, that got him blocked. Wouldn't you know it? Blocked. I'm pretty sure if you want the receipts, hold on, here they are. So there's a thing called BMI. Here, I'll save it. Billboard Music, whatever, Institute, or I don't know what the I stands for. But it like records the music, who performed it, who wrote it, who produced it. And that's the receipt here. Let me grab it. Some of you guys are like receipt whores. Like that's all you want is the receipts. Give me them receipts. So here it says that it was, Cool Kinda Hot. Writer, composer, Callahan Brian P. And it says total controlled, 66% to BMI, 33.32% to ASCAP. It says writers, composers, Callahan Brian P. O'Donnell Philip Eugene, Varble Win. Performers, no data. Publishers, Anthem Music Publishing, Paul and Paul Mall Music. Wow. Paul and Paul Mall Music. And they're affiliated with BMI. And then Real Cool Kinda Hot says the same thing, except the performer is Derek Johnson. So the first one's named Cool Kinda Hot, but it's the exact same song. But the second one, they changed it to a Real Cool Kinda Hot, and Derek Johnson's the performer. It's the exact same song. Same Callahan, Brian P., O'Donnell, Phil, and Varble, George, Edwin were the writers and the composers. Brian P. Callahan is with ASCAP, and Phil O'Donnell and Varble. George Edwin Varble is with BMI. And it is a 50.02, 49.98 split. And it says BMI is 16.68, 3.32. BMI Platinum Songs, BMI Master Pie Music. Produced it for the UK, or published it for the UK. And then World Entertainment Limited. Weird. I'm pretty sure he claimed he wrote it. I know what you're talking about where he's like the other guy wrote it. This guy wrote the song, but I'm pretty sure that's for the Right Beer Right Now or whatever he said. I don't know, man. His brother accuses him of all kinds of stuff. Like, we know he's a grifter. We know he's a liar. We know he claimed to be tortured in the army, which didn't happen. He claims that his record, his injury is classified. Nobody's allowed to know it because it's classified. There's a lot of weird fucking claims with him. We know he's a grifter, but his brother claims that there's other things like that Broadcast Music Inc. Oh, I'm sorry. His brother claims that I thought it was Billboard Music something. Thank you. His brother, that's what BMI stands for, apparently. I got it wrong. His brother claims that, like, people have paid him to produce songs for them, like to be their producer and get him to the studio and produce them and promote him, and he's just, like, blowing them off. And his brother claims that it was like $20,000, $30,000 at a time per person. And if you get a chance to go listen to these two songs, please go listen to Derek Johnson's version, Real Cool Kinda Hot. Then just type in Cool Kinda Hot by Brian Callahan. Brian Callahan is 100,000 times better. 100,000 times better than the Derek Johnson. I don't know how the Derek Johnson ones, I don't know how the Derek Johnson one blew up. I'm with BMI. You need to have a written song. Oh, yeah, you told me you wrote and produced music, right?
You need to have a written song and a pulse.
I don't know. I don't know how Derek's blew up and this Brian Callahan guy didn't, because this is so much more the better of the two. It's ridiculous. Then we've been aggravating Nino, David Nino Rodriguez over on Instagram. So we had a couple cool things going on there. We had the one where he's sitting on Nino's lap, or Nino is sitting on Juan's lap as a little kid. I showed you that earlier. Let me see. I'll go to it. So my Instagram, we had this one already going on. And then Austin decided that he was going to do one. I can't play the music for it because it's copywritten. If I was on YouTube, I could. But here you go. This is that song, Mommy Don't Know That Just Something at the auto shop doing something unholy. You know the song I'm talking about? He looks good. He looks good. Mommy don't know Daddy's at the body shop doing something hot, something unholy. I don't know how it goes. Thank you, Miss Priss. Mommy don't know Daddy's getting hot at the body shop doing something unholy. I finally figured it out. I think he hates us. But that's not even his best appearance in a video, in a recent video. His best appearance in a recent video that I can think of is about I would say, maybe last 20 seconds of this video here. We can listen to this one.
From El Paso, Texas. He weighed in at 254.5 pounds. Black trunks, gold trim.
Yeah, I sing it all the time in my head when I'm watching TikTok. It is a catchy tune. I don't know what the fuck it means, but it's catchy.
36 victories coming by way of knockout. Please welcome David Nino Rodriguez.
Don't worry, it doesn't last long. The video doesn't. They actually go 10 rounds, but the video isn't long.
36-0 in his career.
Never lost. 36-0. Never lost.
And
Changed the day, didn't it, motherfucker? You could back that shit. Never lost my ass.
knocked out Rodriguez with a huge left.
And that was what we talked about, Kenny. He's a big puncher. He's always capable of doing that. And Darnell Wilson is nobody.
There's a Christian version of every song. It's okay.
You cannot underestimate this guy. Here, taking a look at the replay. You see Rodriguez back on the ropes. taking some good shots.
Tagged him there. In the last second of the last round, he knocked this motherfucker out. Last second of the last round. Here it goes. Boom. Got him once. Tagged him. He opened himself. He opened his guard right here. Look. Watch him open himself. After he rocks him with this one, okay, he's kind of off kilter. And when he goes to throw that next, I guess his little left jab, he drops his right hand back. And look at this hole. So he's blocking right there, right? Afraid this fucking hand's coming. Then when he goes to do this little jab, look how wide open that is. Nino's got a fucking glass jaw. That was it, bro. Look, you could have drove a goddamn F-350 through this hole he left open. And that's probably what it fucking felt like. Look at that hole he left open. Damn. First thing they teach you, Nino, is keep your hands up. Where's your hand going? What's your hand protecting back here, bro? What are you protecting? Your nipple?
But here in the sixth, there it is.
Even his head goes, no, in slow motion. Even his head is fucking, no, that was bad. Get his ass.
Time and time again, I've seen him do that for 7 years. I remember in 2006, he knocked out Dale Brown. He knocked out Kelvin.
That motherfucker looked like he just walked in on an uncomfortable situation. He was just like, what? Nope, out of here.
Davis, he knocked out Emmanuel Noir.
Seen your mom nude or something.
And this was
boom. Nope. No. Oh.
Very, very impressive. We've always known he's had this kind of power, and you forget it for a split second, and this is what happens. What a shot.
36-0, undefeated. Oh, 36-1, one defeat.
And with a second to go in this fight.
By the way, Nino claims that he had PTSD from this event. And the next time he was talking about boxing again was several years later after he went and tried Hollywood. He basically played a bad guy as a terrorist in a movie. The next time he talked about boxing again, he was talking about how hard it would be to get back in the ring because he's got PTSD from this event. And I used to make fun of that, but now I know how big a bitch he looked like. I could understand. Makes sense to me. There's one more thing I wanted to do. I wanted to... There's something I wanted to look up if I can find it. I guess it would be in my watch history. Let's do this. I'll go to history. And then we'll probably wrap up after that. Thank you for the donations and stuff that come in tonight. Thank you for we had a person finally use, it was at Suco, but we had a person finally use the dono what's it called? Dono clips, which I think will be really fun once we get used to using it. I think that'll be fun. Is it not on this account? I forget where I saw it. Hold on. Let me see if it's over here. No. Oh, here it is. I got it. You just had to give me a second and get it pulled up. Oh, I know what I can show you while I'm pulling it up. Here you go.
Guess I gotta explain what's going on in my life, don't I? Instagram was consuming my life. Social media will consume your life, not unless you're standing up for what's right like I am right now.
Oh, man, you make my brain hurt. Sometimes some of the things that you'll say, it'll make my brain hurt.
Our town is so messed up. Just like I said, I've been telling people, our community is so divided. I mean, what would we do if invaders come in our community?
Well, city officials of Paintsville, what are you going to do if invaders come in up there?
Yeah, we need to know, to be honest with you.
What are you going to do then? You have a backup plan in case invaders come in? Something you got to think about, people. That's why this man ran for city council. He's thinking about invaders.
And, you know, if God's cleaned me up and I'm a changed person, you know, people need to not mess with me just to be messing with me, or you know, you should be cheering me on. Go, 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 best friend. You know what I mean?
Did you hear that knocking in the background? Listen to that.
You know, you should be cheering me on. Go, 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 best friend. You know what I mean?
I thought somebody was at my front door. Scared the shit out of me, man. You can't be doing that. That doesn't sound normal, man. It literally sounded like somebody was knocking on my front door. I've never heard a car sound like that. And it sounds like you got something else falling apart over there, man. It sounds expensive. I'd go get it looked at.
And you know, my vehicle is broke down right now. That's something for me to be awfully upset about. But you know, I put it in God's hands.
No, man, you need to put it in the mechanic's hands. And if you want to find a religious mechanic, that's fine, but you got to stop counting on God to do everything for you. Oh, I done put oil in my engine, God's in there lubricating it right now. It doesn't work like that, man. It's never worked like that.
That's like use your discernment.
Roads around here. I mean, it's messed my vehicle up. It has. Hit a big...
The roads around here. This is Mike 12 Point for those who don't know. The roads around here messed my vehicle up.
Pothole, and it just... I don't know what's happened. My rear end's gone out. Something.
Rear end's gone out from the potholes.
Dude, your car was messed up long before you hit that pothole, man. And now you're saying it's the rear end?
That's right, Chris.
So first it was a starter, and then it sounded funny, so it needed a good charge.
Yeah, it was knocking one time. He's like, I'm gonna. It must be the battery. I'm gonna charge up that battery.
And now it's the rear end. I'll take a listen to it.
That car's front wheel drive, by the way, and it's not moving. It can't be the rear end. Listen to the advice that Mike 12 Point gives him and his buddy gave him.
Yeah, man, again, I'm not a mechanic, but I called my buddy up, let him listen to it over the phone. He said it sounded like the rear end was going out in it. And actually, that year model had a lot of rear end problems. So I'd leave it on the battery charge for 2-3 days, man. If that doesn't help, you're going to have to take a hammer to it. Look, Johnny, man, the word around town, the word that I'm hearing that's been around town is you're going to go up there and take a dive early on after the first couple hits. You better not do that, man. You better give them people their money's worth. Don't let them people find out you going up there taking a dive. Oh, baby,
I guess Johnny's agreed to a fight, maybe.
That's what I'm hearing, man. That wouldn't be good. That wouldn't be good for anybody. Y'all be. I'll see y'all soon.
I know Rob P sent me a video about it.
I need to share this video.
I would.
Because God's put it on my heart.
Uh-huh.
Should I go over there?
Yeah, walk over, Shane, so that way you know what's being said.
Look at Johnny Gobbler's wife here.
Jail, then it's gonna be some pretty big bullshit.
Amen to that. Be skinny as a beanpole when he gets out because the place is not gonna.
No more silence! Stop police brutality!
The first 3 times I watched this, I was convinced she yelled, "No more salads." No more salads. Listen.
It's gonna be some pretty big bullshit.
Amen to that. Be skinny as a beanpole when he gets out because the place is not gonna.
No more silence! Stop police brutality!
No more salads! I was like, where the fuck is she at yelling about no more? This is an old video. Where the fuck is she at yelling about no more salads? I thought they was at a school or something. They're at the jail.
Stop police brutality!
Amen to that. Be skinny as a beanpole. beanpole when he gets out because the place is not going to
No more.
And someone right before that says he'll be skinny as a beanpole when he gets out. So I thought, hell, maybe they're just finished feeding them salads, and that's why they're so skinny. No more. He'll be skinny as a beanpole when he gets out. Yeah, that's right. No more salads. Man's gonna be skinny as a beanpole.
Jail, then it's gonna be some pretty big bullshit.
Amen to that. He'll be skinny as a beanpole when he gets out because the place is not going to
No more salads! Stop police brutality!
Doesn't it sound like salads? Honestly, the first time I heard the word silence is where I played it just now. No more silence. I thought for sure she said salads. You guys remember who Power Girl is? Who did the Liberty Warrior interview? I found a video of hers, and I can't remember if this is it or not, but we're going to see.
This is Humboldt County, guys.
I believe it is. So this is the condition she suffers from, where she has PTSD. Now I have PTSD, so I'm just doing this to let her know that we are kindred spirits. Mine was from being shot at, being blown up a couple times, seeing people die in combat, taking people's lives in combat. And yours was because your place of employment asked you to wear a mask.
I explained to this doctor that I came to Humboldt County at the top of my pay band 6 years ago to serve this county, and did that successfully for 2 years before I was met with this onset of PTSD symptomology that I had no idea what was going on, and no one else seemed to around me either. And so I've been through actual literal hell over the last 4 years trying to explain to these people what's happening in my body.
Now, I don't have the power to issue you a Purple Heart like Scott McKay does. Maybe you can reach out to him or something. But I would like to at least make you something out of macaroni.
Not just around masking, but just around trauma.
Not just around masking, but also trauma.
And specifically bullying.
And bullying.
Yes, I have been bullied most of my life.
I mean, I'm talking full uncooked. I can have the elbows. I think at the house we got some SpongeBob's and shells. I could probably make something pretty amazing.
I rub people the wrong way sometimes. Truth has a way of doing that. And I was able to handle it all.
We're basically like brothers in arms.
All the way up until the point that I couldn't. All the way up until the point that I was in inflammation. That my disabilities started to take over. And when I started to reach out, Liberty Warrior is on the phone again.
Oh, man. Right place, right time, I believe. I'm glad they picked a neutral place to have that Liberty Warrior interview. Somebody that would cover all the topics and stay, neutral.
Yeah, everything's okay with Moxie. I'm just really battered from.
No one said you had to be in the military. Did you hear me say you have to be in the military to have PTSD? You also can't just fucking claim it because someone said, okay, guys, we got a new rule. We have to wear a mask. Hell, fucking years before COVID, I had jobs where I had to either wear a mask and fucking quit. Lead abatement, a fucking sand blasting, painting, dry ice guns.
From these Nazis, and I just called one of them a Nazi, and it's the worst thing you can do to a Nazi.
All right, well, let's go into prayer real quick. Dear Heavenly Father, I just come to you right now for Christine. Lord, You know she's struggling right now. I just pray a hedge of protection over her entire family, her home, her wonderful pet. And Lord, the enemy is attacking all of us right now.
I worked jobs my whole life where I had to fucking wear a fucking mask. I mean, way before any of this shit. I've been fitted for a bunch of different masks. Fit test with Bitterex. That shit fucking sucks. I've done lead abatement with needle guns and fucking sandblasting. Those are things that you have to wear a mask. There's a bunch of jobs you have to wear a mask. And then, like, for some reason, they're like, okay, well, the whole world's fucking sick. We're going to ask y'all to wear a mask. And people had a fucking meltdown, freak the fuck out. It's giving me PTSD. I don't think I'm going to be able to survive. I'm going to have to get some disability, and I'm going to sue them. Got it. Sure. The rest of the video is just them praying and her crying. I just thought it was interesting that we have such stuff in common, and that she left that out of her interview. That Liberty Warrior was her support system. Remember when the fucking, what's that other girl's name? Texas Reverse Cowgirl or whatever her name is. When she said, the reason we brought it to you, Power Girl, is we knew we could have a place where you'd be impartial. We get to the bottom of the truth, and no one could dispute what was going on here. But then if you just back up like 3 videos, she calls him her only friend in the world. Oh, super impartial. I'm glad that was taken care of in the manner that it was. All right, guys, that's it. Thank you all for joining us. I appreciate it. Thanks for hanging out with me. Sorry, Phil is the way he is, but he still is. I don't know what else to say. It's fun hanging out with y'all tonight. We'll have a show back tomorrow. I appreciate it. Thanks for showing up. Thank you for the donations. Thank you for the support. I'm going to check the activity feed one more time. Oh, yeah, there's something on there. A couple. Guess who farted this guy? Rip Doug and our favorite Singaporean.
Precious_Beast just resubscribed for 9 months. Hello chat/mods. Kissing face.
Precious Beast with a resubscription. Thank you for the resubscription. Why does it? Some of them it plays the text, and so I have to fix that. Some of it plays the text, and some of it doesn't. But thank you guys for joining us. Thank you for the donations. Thank you for the support. Thanks for hanging out with me. I'm Will. This is Cold Beer Confessional. I hope you enjoyed the show. The fuck? Now it just keeps playing. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. I'll be back tomorrow with another free show. We might do some Patreon stuff again. I'm trying to get back during the day where I can play some video games or something. That was kind of relaxing and kind of distracting. I need a distraction right now. But I've had so much going on lately. I've had to do other things. And I still got to put a fuel pump in Dad's car that broke down. I got the Jeep, my car, going decently. It had a minor leak. But I still got to fix Dad's car. So next good weather, that's where I'll be. But hopefully we can play some video games or hang out and chat or something during the day. I like having a distraction. So thank you guys for joining us. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. And we'll see everybody on the next one. Have a good one, guys. Yeah, I've played The Last of Us. Mariah said they made it into a movie or a show or something. Mariah, what'd you say they made The Last of Us into? I don't think Bull can play with us no more, but that's all right. We can still play some. Betsmo sent me a thing that was all the cool stuff I missed. I'm thinking about, so at lower levels in D&D, fighters and monks are actually more powerful. A wizard's basically the most powerful thing you can be in the game when you rank up, but they start out with like no hit points. I'm thinking about building a fighter since it's just level 1 through 5. I'm thinking about starting over with a fighter so I can get action surge and just beat the hell out of people.
A series on Netflix. She said something.
Yeah, I don't think Bull took, if you guys don't know, Bull's helping with his wife do something during the day. So I'm sure he told most of you guys, but he's helping his wife do something during the day. I don't think he can play during the day anymore.
A series on HBO. There you go.
That's all I ever want's a fucking distraction, man. I've been driving myself crazy since fucking December. If I sat or lay in the bed or even my drive home, I gotta have something to distract me. I'll get upset just driving home without a distraction of some sort. Boy, went on the bit. There you go. I think I want a new tattoo. I had to save up the money, but I think I want to get a new tattoo on my arm. All right, guys. Thank you. I appreciate it. We'll see you about in the next one. I'll be back tomorrow. Hopefully with a couple different pieces, but we'll see.